What up, everybody? How are we doing tonight? Goodness, y'all. You are now driving to a video store hoping to drop your rental in the return box in time to not incur a late fee. It's exactly it. That's what I was doing as well, was rushing to this video store to open it up. Some of y'all were waiting outside the door. I apologize for that. Definitely not going to charge you any late fees for anything you were not able to return because I wasn't here yet. So don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it. Let's go ahead and say if you're able to return it by 8 p.m., no late fees. Cool. Let me catch my breath because I feel like even when I have the day off, as I did today, I still come in by the seat of my pants on this. Cracking my beer, relaxing in. What's up, everybody? It is now slightly past 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, and no matter where you are in a video store, an online hangout for people to talk about movies when they miss hanging out in real life talking about movies. I am one of your clerks, Adam Protextor. Stephanie has a prior engagement and may be joining the stream a little later on, but I'm going to hold it down for now. You can follow me and her and the store all on Instagram. It's going to pop up on this rotating sign right in front of me here. I am at Protextor, and you can follow the video store at You Are In A Video Store on Instagram. You are also watching UltraLoop. That is a Twitch channel. Thank you for being here. We got awesome content every night of the week. Tomorrow night is going to be Aliens for Humans, which is Joseph and Penny Stallman and their family playing Among Us. Keelan Haynes is up on Thursdays. A lot of new stuff. I'm going to be doing some retro stuff as well. We'll get to that in a second as well, because I think we might be in spin-off territory for this show in the near future. We'll talk about it. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning customer, thank you for coming back. We don't really have any rules here other than don't judge each other, don't judge things you haven't seen, and, let's chat it up. The more y'all drop in the chat, the more fun the show, I think. So, let's see who we got here. We got, hello to everyone who's watching. Pathos, waiting to crack my beer. I have very strong beer tonight, as you should in the dead of winter. Pathos, I'm not sure I actually know where in the country you are. What is the weather like? And anyone, what up, Wedge? What up, Wedge in his house? Anyone who's watching tonight, anyone who's watching tonight, want to know, what's the weather like where you're at? Because I'm in Austin, Texas, so is Stephanie, and obviously, and in Austin, Texas, it's like 70 degrees, but it kind of dips down a little chillier, and then it gets windy, and right now it's a little drizzly maybe. I don't know. Christmas miracle would be if that drizzle turned to snow. I'm from Iowa originally. I've referenced on the show before, the part of the reason I wanted to do this stream, or where the idea came from, was just that I used to work in a video store, and if there's anything, I loved that place so much, and if there's anything I really miss, it's going in even on my off days just to chat with my friends and regulars who'd be in the store, because it kind of became like a Scooby library for me, like a hub, a home base of homies. So those video stores were in Iowa. There was a store called The Hut Video, which was really not much bigger than the room we do this show out of. It was a living room, a single room house with a basement, and the owner lived in the basement. And I was just a high school kid who came in and worked Sunday shifts. Super fun. And then I moved and worked at That's for Entertainment. But I've been in video stores during blizzards and tornadoes, and here we are. So I want to know what the weather's like where y'all are. Okay, cool. Pathos, 20 degrees, nice, northeast Ohio. I'm from, like I said, Iowa, often confused for each other. A few days ago, 10 inches of snow over the course of 16 hours. See, that sounds awful and wonderful. I want that kind of snow. My homie, actually, shout out to my homie Max, also known as Sam Live. I'm rocking a shirt tonight that he got me for Christmas. Came in a gift box for Christmas this year. And he's in Iowa, and he was texting me tonight that they were having a thunderstorm blizzard, which I've only experienced a few times. It's rare, even if you're in the part of the country where rare shit happens. Thunderstorm blizzard, what it sounds like. It's like a thunderstorm, but it's snowing. It's so cool, so magical to see snow coming down lit by lightning. It's badass. It's a Beetlejuice shirt. Indeed, it's a Beetlejuice shirt. Anyway, If you're new to the program, even if you're not, I do this every time. Here's how the show breaks down. 3 acts. We do a 3-act structure around here. First act is going to be, we're going to ask you, what did you watch this week? And I'm going to tell you what I watched this week, and what Stephanie and I watched this week. She might pop in. Second act of the show is new arrivals. If you follow us on social media, if you follow at You Are in a Video Store on Instagram, you might know one of the things we're gonna talk about tonight. Anyway, we'll get to it. We got some fun new arrivals. It was Christmas, so it's basically a Christmas-themed new arrival. So basically, I didn't really get myself anything or get the store anything, but we got some really cool gifts from loved ones and friends and family. So we're going to be showing off those fun gifts. If you got anything super cool, tell us what it is. Drop your social. I will go look at it on my phone. If you posted a picture, I want to know. I want to know what nerdy, weird stuff y'all got. And then third act of the show, as always, will be Movie Club. And Movie Club this week, we had Glowcat point out to us a few weeks ago that Gremlins 2, the new batch, is a New Year's Eve movie, New Year's party movie, which never occurred to me. Apparently, they said it's in the novelization, which I need to read. And let me just say that Gremlins 2, the new batch, is legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time. I squealed last week when we landed on it for Movie Club. We did watch it again last night. God, I love that movie. Actually, while my art host rapper presence is on Instagram as @Protextor, my personal private account that's just pictures of my family and pets is Gremlins 2 fan. That's my username. So I'm down. All right. Oh my God. So Pathos, you watched all 20 Marvel movies available to watch on Disney Plus. Your Marvel movie quest is complete. Dang. Can you list those? Oh, Wedge, it was your first time? That's 2 first times for you, Wedge. Scrooge and Gremlins. That's very exciting. I'm happy we did it. Thank you for watching. I assume that this surprise is at your Marvel movie quest, Pathos. So how many Marvel movies are there? 23, I want to say. And you watched 20, so the 3 that weren't available. Okay, Hulk's one of them. Is Far From Home not available on there yet? Which ones are missing? Curious. We're Stephanie and I are also doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe rewatch right now, but we kind of got stalled up. We've got Captain Marvel next, then Endgame, and we just got stalled up by the holidays, by horror movies and Christmas movies. So we just have a couple left to watch, but I'm not going to include Far From Home in my rewatch, just because, I'm not to say I won't rewatch Far From Home at some point in the near future, because I'm sure I will. Just that we're capping it with Endgame. So I'm curious what you did, Pathos. In the meantime, I always keep a running list. Now, I apologize to anyone who's Facebook friends with me, because the chances are that on December 31st at midnight, I'm going to drop this list, because this is the first year in my life. I'm just now realizing this first time I've ever successfully done this. Now, I got better at it after quarantine, so I'm sure there's a few things that I'm missing from earlier in the year. But as far as I know, this is the most accurate I've ever made a list of the things I've watched over the course of a calendar year. A lot that was new to me, a lot that was comfort food to me, a lot of TV. Anyway, this show I'm grateful for, because I've never really tracked what I've watched before. And I know Letterboxd, everyone wants me to get a Letterboxd that I say that to. I want keeping track of the movies I watch to live in a note. I want it to be my personal little note. I don't like, I want social media to be a tool and very little else to me. So that's my own personal bias. Okay. You watched First Avenger, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, Thor, Avengers 1, Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians 1 and 2, Ultron, Ant-Man, Civil War, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man and Wasp, Infinity Game. Oh, y'all, it is a special beacon going off, because I currently am bidding in an auction on eBay, so we might actually get to do this together. I forgot to give y'all a heads up because I totally forgot. Oh, well, the bidding price went up. It was a really good deal, and it's not really a super good deal anymore. Well, we'll think about it. It's Elemental Gearbolt. It's a PlayStation 1 game. It's very hard to find. I'm going to keep that little ticker up. We got 4 more minutes. 3 that weren't were the 2... That makes sense. I should have called that. Yeah, Sony not wanting the Spider-Man on there. Where can you stream those? The Spider-Man and the Hulk. I really like those movies, TBH, to be quite honest. Now, y'all, I'm torn. You can help me in the chat decide. Look, one of the things I got for Christmas was a gift card to eBay. And that's a huge gift for me because I love to hunt. Sorry, I got just cleaning up the part where I don't have a coaster here. I love to eBay shop. I love to find rare tapes, rare movies, rare video games, and old stuff, retro stuff, obviously. It's a lot of what we talk about on the show. So right now, 5 minutes away, should I go for this Elemental Gearbolt and use... Basically, I'd have to use up my whole gift card on it. Plus a little. Y'all tell me if that's something, because dang, I might want to stream it. Now, this show for the next 5 minutes is just going to be me being like, should I or should I not? But it is Elemental Gearbolt for PS1. I'm going to see what the next cheapest one is, if this is still actually a good deal or not. Interesting. Oh, no manual. No sale. Alright, let's see. All the other ones are still a lot more expensive than this one. I might just go for it, y'all. I might just freaking go for it. We will see. Now, does this one even come with a manual? Because the one I'm bidding on comes with a manual, and if y'all know me, y'all know I like collecting the ones with manuals. Okay. Here's what the deal is. What's the shipping? $5.50. Shipping's free on the other one. So you ever do that thing where you're on eBay and you got 2 things you're looking at and they're right next to each other, and one seemed like a good deal, but then the other one no one's paying attention to actually is the good deal because it gets eclipsed? You are now in a video store watching the clerk haggle on eBay. That's right. Although when I worked at a video store, we did not have an internet connection. We had just a big old Video Hound books and different books on movies. So you had to figure out stuff by like looking through the movie dictionary. If you were like, what's that actor's name? What were they in? Which I like because I feel like working at a video store during a time when everyone was asking for recommendations and you had to look everything up, but you couldn't use Google yet, at least on your phone because it was pre-iPhone and we didn't have connection. I feel like it sharpens your skills for being able to truly Abed down and nerd out on things. All right, well, here's the deal, y'all. I'm going to go for it just to get that rush of trying to win this, but I probably won't win it. I want to play it for the stream because we just got one of our things that's a new arrival is a light gun game for PlayStation. Light gun, basically a time crisis for anyone who's unfamiliar with that term. Shoot at the screen. You have to use an old TV for it because the way the flashes work, it will not transfer for modern TVs. So we got to use our CRT TV, the one Stephanie has had since she was in high school, and it's called Point Blank. Super fun game. Elemental Gearbolt is also a light gun game, and it's kind of one of those like holy grail items. It's just super hard to find. So basically, insider thing here, both of these auctions are a decent price. I have a gift card. I kind of want to get it so that we can talk about it on the stream and so that I can play it on UltraLoop. Anyway, wow, real peek behind the curtain tonight. Let's go ahead and keep talking about things we've watched, though. Although my eye is wary over here. See, now we're all together on this. What did we watch this week? A lot of Christmas stuff. And this is an awkward transitional season, I think, for the show in general, because we watched so much Christmas. It's weird setting the show like on a weekday and not a date, because basically we're at this limbo where everyone's maybe still feeling the Christmas vibe. I know our tree's still up. We're still relaxing. We're still being lazy with it Christmas style. But then New Year's about to be here, and then after New Year's weekend, we kind of all reset and do that cultural massive this year's different move. So I feel very torn because I really want to be able to relax right now and watch movies. It's also weird timing for the show because Christmas was last episode, but then we obviously watched Christmas movies and shows because we had 3 days leading up. So, long story short, too late. We're going to talk a little bit about Christmas movies tonight for sure. I think that means you're okay to get it. Thank you for signing off on that, Wedge. There's a minute and a half left on the auction. There's 15 bids. Let me say, with the gift card I have, I would be spending $30 right now, and I don't feel bad about that. And I would never drop this amount of money. It's $130, and I have a $100 gift card. Cut to it. I would never drop that much money on a game, and I think I'm gonna have to go for it because I don't think that pre or post gift card on eBay, Adam is gonna be able to justify dropping that much money on one thing. So I might as well jump for it, and then we can play it, and it'll be rare, and it'll be fun and proprietary in a sense. Although we got to figure out how to do the light gun on here, right? Okay, you've got the gift card. Make it happen. Thank you. Lost a viewer. Someone's like, I don't need to hear this shit. Okay, 30 seconds left, and then we're gonna put this behind us. We're gonna get it or not. Here's the adrenaline. All right, make sure I'm logged in. Oh, it jumped. It jumped high, y'all. Me don't like that. Oh. Well. Nope, I'm not going to win this one. Gone. You know what's fun, though? Is that there is actually one on here for... This one just sold for $20 more than the next cheapest one. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop that up using the gift card. And we'll just make it happen there instead. So we were still playing. I didn't go over budget. I didn't let the eBay phenomenon happen to me. I saw it receding into the distance and I let it go. And now we can actually spend time on this show talking about movies. Although we have been talking about video games, I might as well get this out of the way. I want to pivot and do some more streaming because I really love this. And I don't want to pivot this show. I want to keep this show just the way it is. I love this show. I love everything about what we do, and y'all make my week, seriously. That's not going anywhere. But we do have some free real estate here on UltraLoop that I want to try and fill with more retro gaming streams. And so before quarantine, I had a talk show called Rappers Playing Games, or RPG, where I would bring over different rappers from the Austin, Texas music scene, and we'd play retro games together. Pretty low production standards because I didn't have a way to get the retro games into the computer. So they're kind of janky, but the conversations are great. The gameplay's fun. It works. I like it. I want to start doing that, but I can't have people over in person yet. But I'm a rapper, so I kind of want to do a rapper playing games stream, and then eventually, once we can bring people on, we'll bring people onto that stream. This is all to say that the video stores I frequented as a kid that I remember fondly, I also rented gaming systems from, and I do think that these shows can be brother and sister shows. And so we'll figure out what night of the week it's going to be, but some of the game talk on here is going to translate into more retro streams. So that is why I'm involving y'all in my eBay quest right now. That is why I've been showing off more games on the program when we get them in, because that's where we're ultimately heading. Yes. Well, we're going to play multiplayer games across the internet, but I'm so interested in the retro streams as a thing that I'm just like, at this point, Alon, who's like our chief creative officer here, basically, boss man, Alon helped me set up the retro streams to look nice. But the multiplayer stuff is like emulator driven because nothing that I have here has an internet connection except for the Sega Dreamcast. Bless you, Dreamcast. So it'll probably just be me until I can start getting people actually to come back over. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, y'all. I gotta, bear with me. I'm so sorry, but this other one is a really good price on here, and they only got one, and I gotta use my gift cards on it right now, because I'll be pissed. Honestly, if I let the auction lose, that's fine. But I would be mad at myself if we finished the stream tonight and this thing was gone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm throwing down? So I'm gonna quickly enter in a few different gift cards here to get this working. Enter code. Oh wow, it truly is. These are long codes. Oh my goodness. I would read these aloud, but I bet someone out there could type so fast they'd get it in. Anyway, what did y'all watch? Pathos, what was your favorite? What was your favorite Marvel movie? Are you prepared to share such a thing with us? By the way, this is going faster than I thought. I want to know which one, since you just watched all of them in a short amount of time, and that was a goal that I had that I fell through on, that I totally did not do. Please tell us your favorite, your least favorite. I know I'm really putting you on the spot here. I apologize. You don't have to tell us all this, but I'd be interested in your favorite, your least favorite, and one you think is slept on. One you think, like, you understand maybe why people don't like it, but you think it's good. And I am so close to being done, y'all. You're going to be like, what? How did he do that so quick? And I'll be like, well, by talking the whole time. And done. And done. All right, y'all. Oh, thank you for the gift card. Those gift cards were actually from Stephanie. She knows me. Thank you. By the way, we just jumped up a few viewers here. What you just witnessed is me using eBay gift cards to grab a rare PS1 game so that we can do a retro game stream of it here on UltraLoop. I was distracted. I'm back. My head's in the game. I'm proud to say, not really proud to say, there's nothing to be proud of. I'm happy to say that we found a good deal on this game, and it's called Elemental Gearbolt, and we're going to play it, and it's going to be fun as hell. Also, we were asking Pathos, one of our store regulars, what Marvel movies were their favorites and least favorite, and maybe one that slept on, because they just watched all the Marvel movies on Disney Plus within like less than 2 weeks. Okay. Wedge rented Killer Instinct and SNES. Yes, I found a copy of Killer Instinct at half price for $10, and I bought it in the box just so I could have that feeling. You know, there are proprietary rental game cases from Blockbuster that are basically a big plastic briefcase, but the foam inside is cut for systems and the outside is branded for the systems, and they're Blockbuster only rental cases, travel cases for consoles. They're super hard to find. That's a fun collector's item. Mom was adamant that I never actually have a console, which is why I was a PC gamer. I was not allowed to have a console either as a kid. We've talked about this before, but another friend of the show, Holden Wook, was my best friend. Best childhood friend, lived across the street from me, and he had a PlayStation. So I was allowed to get a PlayStation the following year because of him. So thank you, Will. Okay. Watched the Twilight Zone Christmas episode, which Night of the Meek, which was fantastic. Fun fact I just learned about Night of the Meek. Shout out to Awkward Matt VHS on Instagram who taught me this. Night of the Meek, as well as 3 other television shows, television Christmas programs owned by the same company, CBS. So they had I Love Lucy, Twilight Zone, Honeymooners, and one other I'm forgetting. They released these 4, and they were Christmas card VHS. So it was basically like a VHS case and then the tape inside was the Christmas episode, so Night of the Meek of Twilight Zone. The front was like a picture of Rod Sterling with like green tint and red eyes. And then the cover opens and is a Christmas card that you write in, and then it also comes with its own Twilight Zone themed wrapping paper that you wrap the whole thing in. They made 4 of these. They're actually not that hard to find. I was contemplating getting the Twilight Zone one, but it's past Christmas, so Christmas impulse tape buying season has passed for me. Just a fun little fact I learned recently about those. Home Alone, Die Hard, and Gremlins 2. Well, we watched Home Alone, skipped Die Hard this year. I don't know why. Maybe we'll watch it this week. I mean, I think it's just because I can watch Die Hard in my sleep. Die Hard, Gremlins 2. Yes, Gremlins 2. Favorite is Black Panther. Favorite is Thor Ragnarok. I feel like those are... Okay, now we're going to talk about Marvel stuff. I love Black Panther so much. Every time that I watch it, I get more out of it. I get chills at the beginning when... what's his... I forget not his, like, human name. I only know his, like, supervillain name. Killmonger. Eric. When you hear... It's Eric. When you hear little Eric in the beginning, like... I didn't realize that's him the first 2 watches. You realize that's him. Why Do We Still Hide, Papa? Fucking what an awesome way to start that movie. Why Do We Still Hide? God, that movie is so rife with like just so much to say, and is also so entertaining. Black Panther is like I don't like when people wholesale shit on superhero movies. They're fun, and sometimes they're exceptional, and sometimes they're bad. We'll get to a newer one that we watched this week that wasn't that good. Maybe some of y'all watched as well, but goddamn, Black Panther, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Thor Ragnarok, so fun. Taika Waititi, Technicolor. Okay, Thor The Dark World, yeah, it's just not really there. I would agree with you there. Although I think my personal least favorite, I don't know. I have to think on that. I feel like I owe you a tit for tat here. It's probably Thor The Dark World. Thor The Dark World has some fun moments, though. I don't think I dislike any Marvel movie. I think that I just am more apt to put some on than I am others. Some of them I love. Winter Soldier, Guardians 1 and 2. Guardians 2 especially gets a lot of flack, but I think that'd be my choice for slept on. I think Guardians 2 is a really phenomenal movie, and I think that the Kurt Russell ego versus Peter Quill is very much a generational conflict between millennials and baby boomers. I think that is how it is framed to be. And this idea of like the baby boomer who has turned everything, like the white old baby boomer man who's turned everything into this gray sludge because it's the same, because it's his essence and he wants it even though it's not interesting. And Peter basically rejecting the privilege that ego is trying to offer him and saying, no, I want my friends. I want to live in a world of diversity and different voices. I really like that movie a lot. Anyway, that's my little TED Talk argument about Guardians 2. Avengers Ultron is still pretty great. That's a really interesting choice for slept on. Definitely less liked, but I mean, even for the party scene alone in Ultron is just incredible. Like the Ultron's first appearance. It definitely gets messy, and I really recommend to anyone who's interested in MCU to watch Ultron with Joss Whedon's commentary, because he is not shy about explaining all the ways that the studio fucked with his movie, and vice versa, and how they didn't get along, and that's why Whedon did not come back. That's why he went to work on DC stuff. But it's pretty unsparing commentary track for a Disney Blu-ray, and I recommend it. It's very interesting and a little bitchy, and I love it. Slept on, Captain Marvel, Wedge, interesting. Worst Thor: The Dark World, everyone is good or great. I would agree with that. I didn't like Captain Marvel that much. We got into this a little bit on the program last week. It just feels like it felt like it was so eager for me to understand what it was about that it wasn't about what it wanted to be about. If that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Action choreo wise, I enjoy it. Okay. And a Game Boy, Metroid 2. Hell yeah, a Game Boy. Okay. Pathos, second least liked was Captain Marvel. Something about that movie really never felt right. Like thrown together. Like so many times they full on let ski. Yes! Thank you. That's it. Dang, that's serendipitous. That's why I don't really like it. That's why I was kind of wrestling. Is it that or Thor: The Dark World? I love Brie Larson. In pretty much everything. And I think her performance, there's nothing wrong with any of the performances or really any of the action direction. It's really like all the script and editing in Captain Marvel that just feel like they want to lean into making one point and then maybe they don't want to push it too far, so they backpedal a little bit. Or the comedic beats are timed over, or the comedic beats are wildly inappropriate. Like I'm still think it is so dumb that Nick Fury's eye is the cat. Sorry, I don't think I'm over that. I think it's a dumb conceit, and I also think the way they play it off as comedy, it does something that we've talked about on this show before earlier, which I think is kind of a lazy screenwriting thing. And we were talking about it when we were talking about period pieces and costume dramas. And we were talking about how so many period pieces and costume dramas, they want to coast, at least partially, on making you as a viewer feel intelligent because you are looking into the past with your modern perspective. And so they'll do things like drop jokes that are you know the answer, the characters don't. Good example of this, Memphis Belle, period piece. We watched it on the show together. World War II movie. Memphis Belle. There's a character in it who wants to go back home and start a chain of hamburger restaurants so that you can get the same tasting burger anywhere you travel. And another character says, no one wants that. Now, we know that people do want that. We know McDonald's is the most successful fast food thing ever invented. We know fast food exists because of it. And that makes us feel smart, and we get to say, ha, and the movie winks at us. I think that was my problem with Captain Marvel, is there's a lot of that going on with the MCU. They knew, it's like, it wants to be a good origin story, and I think it's a solid origin story. It wants to be about feminism and overcoming gaslighting and male-dominated workspaces, and it does that in a, I think, pretty shallow way. I think it kind of gets there, and then it's like, yeah, we said it. And then it also wants to say, hey, thanks for coming along with us on 22 Marvel movies before, or 21 movies before this. Here's some insider jokes. Nick Fury, it's the cat. Isn't that hilarious? And I just think the movie never really feels authentically its own. And I think you put that well, Pathos. That's my opinion. I'm not trying to shit on it. I do think all Marvel movies are good in some way. I think they all work. I think they're all entertaining and they work. But yeah, I think that's my... I haven't really tried to express that, but thanks for putting it that way, Pathos. Tony G. Wiz, welcome. Watched Gremlins 1 and 2. Awesome. PCU and Back to School. That also sounds like a wonderful double feature. And Harry Potter. There's a lot of like double features. Tony G. Wiz felt like you did 3 double features here. I dig it. And then Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets, and Half-Blood Prince. That's interesting. That's 2 and 6, isn't it? Fascinating. Was it a holiday thing? Here's the thing about me. I still don't know how the Harry Potter saga ends because I always told myself I'd read the books before I watched the movies, and I fell off on the books when I was in college. The last one I read was book 5, and I still need to read books 6 and 7 as well as watch the movies. Crazy. It's really like I need to do that. There's nothing against I like the story a lot. Totally was just a time thing, and then I fell out. It's like when you're playing an RPG and you forget how the controls work or how leveled up you are, and you're like, where do I jump back in here? Do I need to read the liner notes? Do I need to watch a recap video? That's how I feel with Harry Potter books. Anyway, Black Panther's so great. Upvote. They are going to do a sequel, Tony G. Wiz, and Wedge agrees. Guardians is great. It's weird, I've never watched them, even when I play Marvel Strike Force on my phone every day. Marvel had Goose the Flurkin, who I named my cat after, and said cat just threw up in the hallway. Perfect timing. I love that cat, that Flurkin. Let me just be straight with you. I love that that's a character. I love that there's a interdimensional being that looks like a house cat. That is wonderful. What I don't like is it being Nick Fury's origin story. But yes, maybe just let your cat know that wasn't a personal attack. Christmas scenes in both. That makes sense. What up, Holden Wook? I can see that one. I have had trouble on the show before seeing certain chat messages, and I don't know why. Stephanie will sometimes be here on her phone, and she'll catch stuff that I'm not seeing. I honestly don't know why. I wish I had a fix for this. I don't know if I do. Stephanie might come in halfway through the show a little bit, and then we'll have our fix, and then clearly I need to figure out why this computer doesn't want to show me that. Sounds like a lot of people watch some really fun stuff, and I'm so happy that so many people watch Gremlins 2, because I'm really, really excited to talk about Gremlins 2. I'll go ahead and tell you what we watched. We watched, and normally I try and pull out the discs here, but a lot of this, gotta say, was streaming this year. So, yeah, I think I only have... Okay, so here. So I have been watching through Sailor Moon. I told y'all that I was going to get this fancy box version of it, and now I worry that I've been sucked in because I realize there are 4 more seasons in this box type. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty and pink and shiny. I love this show. This is something I've been watching a lot of. This has definitely been my, my December break, 5 days off work, binge on the couch show. And it's new to me. I imagine that most people who binge Sailor Moon, it's probably a comfort watch or something they love. I just have started loving this. It's new to me, and I absolutely adore it. It's going places already. I just think it is so, like, I've met 3 or 4 new characters now. I love the mythology that it's building, and I love that I can see this arc clearly going somewhere. Because, the first few episodes are like Sailor Moon versus a monster. It's very freak of the week, and there's a little repetition. But then after about 6 episodes of that, a new character's introduced, a little bit more repetition on the plot. And it goes in these little cycles where it's kind of like, okay, now these people against the monster. 3 episodes of that. Now these people against the monster. Now, instead of the monster coming to them, they're going to proactively hunt for the monster. So I can see the little, like, mini way. Like, this is mid-90s TV, so mid-90s TV, like, maybe, is very episodic. But I love how even for its era, and, maybe this is my own ignorance with anime shows. Maybe a lot of shows do this. Like I said, my only other real touch point is DBZ, which does not do this. DBZ drags it out. So I am pleasantly surprised by how fast-paced this show is, how beautiful the animation is, and how cool it is. I love sparkly, pretty, bright, and colorful shit. I love Rainbow Bright. I love the aesthetic. It's like, anyway, I've got a movie I want to make someday that's a superhero movie of my own. I don't want to say anything about, and I will tell you that this is bleeding right into the inspiration storage part of my brain, because I just think it's rad as hell. Hey, thank you for the subscription. Great job, nerds, with Prime. Oh, yeah. Well, now I see you. Let me see if I have some weird view turned on, because I am in admin view. Let me try and pop out. Weird, you say. Scrolling up, trying to see if I can find Hold and Look earlier. See, I'm not seeing those previous ones. I am going to pop out the chat, though, which will make it reload. And I'm watching on my iPad and messages we're not sending. Something is super messed up with chat. Thanks for the 2020 drop. Great job, nerds. All right. Cool. I think this chat's working a lot better for me, so I'm going to stick with it for now. Thank you, y'all, for calling it out. If you ever encounter a technical difficulty on this program or on anything on our channel, we'd love to know about it. We really appreciate being called out on it because we want to fix it. So thank you. Nothing can possibly go wrong. That's just for Great Job, nerds. Anyway, I was watching a lot of Sailor Moon this week. I also watched, speaking of Christmas movies, I'm going to consult my list. We also watched Home Alone. Now, what we did was a double feature of, we watched Elf one night, and we double featured that with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which was wonderful. Oh, no, we did that last week. My bad. That would have been wonderful. Rudolph, Rankin Bass next to Elf would have been great. Not what we did. What we did was How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and then, where am I? Oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all. And then Elf. And then we did The Muppet Christmas Carol and Home Alone as a double feature the night after that. And so, really some classics. I don't even know if I have much more to add to the conversation. We did watch the Movies That Made Us episode on Elf before watching Elf. That's a Netflix show that's like it's like a docuseries, very poppy. Kind of reminds me of VH1's I Love the 90s or I Love the 80s shows. Very poppy in the way that's done. Kind of annoying in the way it's edited, honestly. Like, very like, well, that didn't stop them. Whoop. Little animations on people. But a lot of really interesting behind-the-scenes stuff. And really interesting story behind Elf about all the problems they ran into and all the ways in which the purity of the movie was preserved through its entire process from script to screen. And through the editing bay. Anyway, it was interesting to watch right after watching the behind the scenes. I recommend that show. I think the two up for the holidays that made us are Nightmare Before Christmas and Elf, and they've also got Home Alone and Die Hard. Speaking of Home Alone, watch that double feature with Muppet Christmas Carol, two of my favorite movies of all time. Home Alone, I think the thing that stuck out to me more than anything this watch was just how good it is at capturing the perspective of a kid. Like the color choice, like Stephanie was observing this. She's like, I never really like been in proper awe of the set design, and not just the fact that everything in the house, like the McAllister's house, is red and green, top to bottom, ceiling to floors, red and green. Not only that design, but the little small ways in which things are integrated. Like when Kevin goes to the basement, there's a few flecks of yellow items that disappear as he confronts, like that panic fades away as he confronts the furnace, and then he starts to embody his own color story too. See here. Cat situation. Welcome back. And then otherwise, The Night Before was the other one I watched. The Night Before. So a friend of me and Great Job Nerds sent us this. I'd never seen it. It's a Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg bro comedy. It's nothing amazing, but damn if I wasn't charmed by it. Damn if I didn't laugh a lot at it. A friend, we're basically myself, Great Job Nerds, and another friend of ours who gave me this shirt, are all in different parts of the country. And so our friend Max, I'll just say his name instead of our friend Max, sent both of us this movie so we could try and watch it around the same time and pretend we were together for the holidays, since it's about bros being together for the holidays. I quite enjoyed it. I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anthony Mackie, and Seth Rogen were all very charming. Not going to win any best screenplay awards, but like I said, it's not dumb. It's a dumb bro comedy, but it's not dumb. It's got a good heart. It's Seth Rogen. It feels nice. Watch it with some grandpa's lettuce. That's my take on it. Okay. What else did we watch? I watched Hi Kitty. My cat's crying at the door. I also watched Wonder Woman 1984 and Soul. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Ron Howard's. I watched half of it. Now, if you were here last week, you know that I kind of ranted about Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I have very strong emotions about it. And I promised, because everyone was very reasonable, and Glowcat said, that's a beloved Christmas classic to a lot of people, and I was like, you're right, I'm going to watch it in good faith. I started it last night, and I put it on, and I said to myself, I'm going to watch this movie, and I'm going to, I'm here for it. I'm not going to be anti this movie going into it. I'm going to be here for it. Also, Great Job Nerds had just said they watched it with their family and really liked it. And so I'm seeing here in the chat, masterpiece. Masterpiece, you call it. See, I would not call it that, but I might say it didn't suck as much as I thought it did. Anyway, I think we're going to disagree on this, but that's okay, because I can respect you. Bruh. Eastern Promises you watched. Arrival. Those are two of my favorite movies. And then I want to talk about Soul as well. Okay, so just to preview, just to go back in time, the shit that I gave to Ron Howard's Grinch last week was basically, I was saying that it was the kind of movie that they were making in Scrooged. That it was a corporate product where, yes, it's got a huge budget. Yes, the makeup's incredible. They've got Jim Carrey doing crazy shit. The sets are incredible. But does it have a Christmas spirit? And I don't think it does. And I think the movie very much wants to be about the Christmas spirit being missing and the Who's. Here's my essential problem. Now, I watched this movie last night, and I did give it good. I did try to come in good faith. And I did find Cindy Lou Who rather adorable. And I did think that she represented the spirit of the Dr. Seuss story well. However, I think that I might just be intrinsically opposed on a deep philosophical level to the Grinch being turned into a feature-length film of any kind, because the amount of world building that it requires, I think, inherently robs it of some innocence. And I think that the Ron Howard one, upon rewatching it, does look beautiful, but I just bristle at the characterization of different Who's in their human way. I don't like the teen Who's. I don't like Jeffrey Tambor's creepy mayor Who. I don't like the Who's being like humans, period. They're acting like humans. They're acting greedy and rude and entitled and awful. And that's not what Who's are. Who's are a magical race of creatures that always love The Grinch is the one who's anti. I also don't like the idea that the Grinch is anti. Now, I get you're telling a story about someone being turned off from society and the outsider, and I get that you're trying to tell the story about an outsider. Well, I just had the Grinch spill a little bit of my beer on me. So maybe that's just karma for talking shit on it, or maybe it's just karma for me squeezing my beer nervously while I talk. I get that. We're going to spoil one of the things here because I don't want it to get ruined by beer. There we go. That's my essential problem with the Grinch, is that it's trying to exist within the bounds of so much human stuff. And I think that it kind of, I don't like the rationales that it gives to people's behavior. I also hate the key party. I think the key party is offensive. Now, I've been talking for a while, and I'm not trying to shit on it. I've nervously been avoiding the chat because I don't want to piss off one of my best friends in the world who I disagree with this movie on. I know you really liked it. I see why you liked it. I want to hear counter arguments, and I'm going to turn and read in the chat, but I'm being a coward for right now so I can finish my point. And my point is just that I don't know if I agree with this movie's essential purpose of existing, period. And it feels to me very Hollywood, very Brian Grazer, Ron Howard. Let's give you a Hollywood experience, and I think it misses why the story of the Grinch works. Okay, now I'm going to turn over. Oh, I love it. I think it's too real. I thought I was going to turn over here and Great Job Nerds was going to have like a paragraph being like, actually, bro, what you don't understand is that this aspect of the movie symbolizes this and this. I thought you were going to like come at me and say like, no, you're wrong. It has Christmas spirit. Here's why. But it's fine. Anyway, I think that I always feel uncomfortable talking about the Grinch. I honestly don't love talking about things I don't like that much in general. I like to talk about things I like. I like to like things, to quote Abed. I want to use any platform I have to talk about art to celebrate things I think are slept on and to encourage people to check things out I think are cool, not to shit on things, especially things that bring people joy. The older I get, the less that I give a shit about if people know I don't like something, especially if they like it. But we're in a talk show where we talk about movie opinions, and I think that is my measured adult take on The Grinch after rewatching last night. Is one, I think I've been being too hard on it for years. I've said before hyperbolic shit like the world's worst because this movie's in it. I think it's a funny thing to say. I don't agree with it. I do think that my temper towards this movie softened considerably. Watching it last night, I laughed at moments. I had fun at moments. I was very charmed by moments. And I realized I don't even know if it's this movie's fault. I just don't think I trust Hollywood to take a story with such an essential childlike innocence and purity and turn it into a feature-length story, period. I just don't know if I've ever seen that happen except maybe Where the Wild Things Are. And that's a miracle of a movie. So maybe that's just me and my personal Christmas preference. I don't know. I can't really argue because literally the things you don't like, I do. The world building, the characterizations. Well, no, that's fine. Like, I mean, that's fair. I'm not asking for, like, we don't have to, like, give each other PhD dissertations. I mean, I think that's fair. I do think Cindy Lou is there to embody the spirit. I think the characterizations on the Who's, it sounds like we just disagree on that. I don't like them being human. The world building, I like the way things look, but I don't like that they look so much like our world. I don't like that this is a world of fantasy. I don't like that it looks like Walmart during a Black Friday, but Dr. Seuss colored. I think the movie feels like it wants my money. And I do think that I also see why people love it as a Christmas movie. And I think that my true opinion on it is if it brings people Christmas joy, then I shouldn't be a Grinch and try to take that from them. Period. And also, yeah, Jim Carrey's always fucking awesome. That's it. Okay, cool. Well, I think I softened. Last week I was mean. I'm trying not to be mean. I never want to be mean on this show. Now I'm in my feelings. Now I'm in my head. Okay, what else did we watch? Soul, Wonder Woman 84, Here's one I can agree with you on. Great job, nerds. I did not like Wonder Woman 84 very much. I don't know if I hate it like everyone else hates it. I don't think it's good. I think I had a decent time watching it. I think I wasn't really expecting anything else than what I got. I think maybe that's why so I was like sort of on Twitter, sort of seeing people talk about this movie before we watched it. And I think I very intentionally was like, I want to go in really open-minded. I've been looking forward to this movie. I think the plot was obviously a big old mess. There's so much script writing, editing. There's so much that's just messy as hell about this movie. It does not need to be that long. I do want to say I loved Pedro Pascal as Max Lord. I loved him from the first moment he was on screen. I loved his sales guy. I loved his Max Lord when he was down and out more than anything. I loved his pre-heel turn Max Lord. I did read somewhere online that someone said that Cheetah in the comics is gay and that Diana is canonically bi, and that it would have been a much more interesting story choice to have her be the love interest, so that they had to fight when the heel turn happens for Cheetah, which I 100% agree with. I've also seen people say the magic rock is a stupid thing. That I care less about. I mean, I just watched 23 Marvel movies about magic rocks. I'm fine with magic rocks. So I didn't really care about that. I honestly thought it was fun. What I thought it did not deliver on was any sort of promise of its title, of it being in the 80s. I think, and Stephanie and I talked a little bit about watching it, after watching it. I think for both of us, it was like, that was a relatively inoffensive, like, very empty palette, very empty plate sort of movie. And what hit both of us about it is not really so much even the script or the performances, but just how bland and blah everything looks and feels. Everything looks like it was lit for a mid-90s Diet Coke commercial. It looks like it was lit. Actually, I take that back. That's more dramatic. That's more interesting lighting. It looks like it was lit for, I don't know, Netflix to be rushed into production. It looked like everything else. It didn't have a look. And after all that beautiful Technicolor, vibrant, neon, metal in the marketing, yeah. And it just really let down to see all that kind of like washed out, boringly color-corrected modern look that everything has. It was also kind of a bummer how it didn't really nail any of its editing beats. Like right from the beginning with Wonder Woman 84, I was expecting some sort of almost Thor Ragnarok style, like cool sequence and like Superman style sequence with the titles. And we didn't get that, but it was just so clumsy. The titles in the beginning and the end didn't even cut to credits or cut from credits in a satisfying way. That said, I had fun watching it. I'm not mad I watched it. I didn't come out saying, fuck that movie, that was a piece of shit. I came out being like, they kind of dropped the ball on that, huh? I didn't really expect them to not drop the ball. I was just really hoping they wouldn't. The character was cool, but how are you going to present a Trumpish character and not serve justice to him? Yeah, that's a good point. Hi. That's a good point, nerds, but I just don't... redeemed hydrate. We got a redemption on hydrate. I gotta go get water. Stephanie's gonna join the stream, so we'll do a little switcheroo. I'll come back with waters for both of us, and we'll redeem that. Thank you, Iwaz. It treated the 80s the way... Yeah. Yes, and it looked like an X-Men movie in that way, in that boring way. Like, I don't understand why people can't just light dynamically with color if they want to do retro pastiches. Do a fun retro pastiche. Anyway, he was a Trumpish character, but I think that from moment one, he didn't remind me of... If they were trying to do him as a Trump surrogate, that didn't work for me. Because I liked him from the beginning. Because he just was this I liked him... Not like if I met this guy, I'd like him, but I liked this, like, sleazy, try-hard guy that seemed like Bruce Willis in Breakfast of Champions. Like, seemed like kind of, like, I liked this strong man playing the nerd.
We talking Wonder Woman?
We are. And I liked him. I even turned to Stephanie. I was like, I like this guy. Look how ballsy he is trying to pitch everyone on his bullshit. Like, I liked him as bullshit artist. I didn't work as a Trump thing because I don't think Trump has nearly the humor or, like... Because Trump's not a human being. And Maxwell Lord and Pedro Pascal are at least human beings. Trump is a cardboard cutout with racial slurs written on it. I can't identify with it. That's funny. The meme going around that the poster for 84 took up all the colors so they didn't have any left. The day has been going solid. Thank you for asking. Hello. And welcome to the stream, Stephanie.
Why, thank you. I see we have...
I've been sitting in my beer, but, you're finally here to rescue me, and I'm going to go wipe it down. It's because I was nervous that I was going to insult the Grinch too much, so I was kind of fidgeting while I was ripping on it. Not ripping on it. I think I came to it from an adult place this week. Anyway, okay. Vineet and I disagree on it, but I was nervous, and I was playing with the beer, and I just popped it all over myself.
Oh.
I know. I'm a silly bitch. One thing to catch you up on. The chat was being weird, so I popped up a pop-out chat over here.
All right.
He did build a wall, Vineet. That's a good point. He built a wall. That's true. But he did the wall because it was someone else's bidding, which gets us into the other problem with with WW84 is the racism. And this is something that you can read about on Twitter now. People disagree. I tend to agree with people saying there's a lot of anti-Arab racism in this movie. The wall part, not even being something Maxwell Lord does it, but it's not his wish. It's not his idea. So even the idea of a wall makes him less Trumpian because he builds it, but the other guy's more Trumpian because he wants it. Anyway, I get that you could maybe defend the racist parts of this movie by saying it's an illustration of how everybody is bad in some way. I've seen that argument being made. I do have to agree, though, that the way it leans into Arab stereotypes, like it is a movie from 1984, felt off from the jump.
Yeah. Not to jump in, but that was my feeling of like, this movie seems racist, and then I was like, are they trying to play it as it would be played in a movie from 84?
Thank you, Vineet, for spotlighting that part of what I said. This is why I'm terrified to say things on the internet. Out of context. You took me out of context, and it makes me look bad. No, I get that you can defend it on those grounds, but I disagree, okay? I think it took both of us out. And this movie I was looking up movies from 1984 after this, because I was considering doing a double feature, and I was like, what if I do an action movie from 84 to compare? 84 is one of the best years in movies ever. Never-Ending Story, Purple Rain, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I was about to say, huh?
Terminator 1. I was, after reading that, was so much more upset with this movie. Upset's the wrong word. Here, before I'm going to take up I was on the hydrate. I have not forgotten you, and I'm going to take my first little break now that you're here. But I did want to say, I'm not upset with this movie. Here's my final take before you run.
Oh, sure.
I think the people want to know your opinion. I've been talking quite a lot. I will say, I think this movie was a big old stumbly mess that didn't know how to manage any of its beats. Its action was terrible. Don't be an action movie. I saw someone online say there's a good hour and a half long superhero movie hiding in this mess. And I think that's a good point, but I think there's a good hour and a half long drama hiding in this because I just did not feel the action was there. I felt it was all cuts. It was all fist in this shot, punch in this shot. Never any beautiful choreo like we should get from a movie with this budget and about this character. Did think that it was the first thing to pull off the invisible jet in a way that I thought was cool and fun. Did not think Steve needed to come back. Plenty of plot points. Messy. Anyway, I'll put a bow on this. Messy ass script. I wasn't mad I watched it. I don't hate the movie. I'm not mad at the movie. I'm not sure I really expected it to be anything better than what it was, to be honest, because I don't have a high bar for DC. I'm just there to kind of be entertained for a few hours. It did that for me. Will I rush to watch it or buy it? No, I won't. Do I know that the Blu-ray is going to come out and it's going to have that cool poster art on it begging me to buy it? Yes, I know, and I'm going to say to that, you're a lie, Art, and I'm not buying you because you look cool, because you're not the movie that you have inside of you. Yeah, the jet scene was dope.
All right. Hi. Hello.
Sorry to throw you into that stuff.
No, it's all right.
We're just doing what we watched part.
Cool. I'm just trying to catch up here. Obviously, we're talking about Wonder Woman. I don't know exactly what the consensus has been, but man, mine was, I really thought it was going to be more of a fish out of water story, and really lean into the time period, the setting of the time period, and just make it really fun in that sense, which did not happen, and I was very disappointed. And I thought the script was messy. I thought, yeah, obviously we were just talking about the weird racist stuff. I also really always have a huge issue with like body possession stuff when there's sex involved. It makes me feel very uncomfortable, I think for pretty apparent reasons. Hi, what up? So anyways, yeah, I think Adam made a good point in saying it wasn't really any better or worse than I anticipated it being. It just was sort of like, okay. And I thought it would be like, okay. And it was like, okay. You know? Yeah, that's like my very quick 2 cents. Just trying to go through my filing cabinet here in my brain. But what's been going on, y'all? Did Adam fill you in on the minor plumbing emergency, quote unquote, that I was attending to / showering? Because I haven't been able to shower in 4 days because we haven't been able to use our shower, and it was a whole thing. But all's well that ends well. I took a shower in a non-clogged tub. There was no hot water, which oft there is not. So I took an ice cold shower next to my drafty window. But hey, you know, the drain drained. So, you know, count your blessings there, huh? I see we've acquired a towel.
We've got a paper towel.
I was just trying to say what's up to everyone and briefly give my 2 cents on Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Which you've heard. I was basically just saying I really thought it was going to be like a fish out of water thing, and that seemed really fun. I also body swap stuff or body possession stuff when there's sex involved. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's creepy.
And like they just glaze over everything so quickly in this movie. Like, you just possess this guy's body and like with no regard for I don't know, it's just for like the fact that is he missing? Like, it's so weird. I don't know. Anyways, what else have y'all been talking about? Just what you watched? Are we still in what you watched? Last night I made myself a little cheese plate and with some pretzel bits on it and some little chocolate pieces too, and I had a 90s mom's cigarette, a 90s mom's cigarette, a lot of a 90s mom's cigarette, a lot of grandpa's lettuce, and I watched, just on a complete and utter stupid whim, I started Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, which I did not finish because I fell asleep pretty quickly. But, wow, y'all. You know? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, Jelly Bean.
You could write an essay, you know? It's like the depth.
The Johnny Depp.
Right, from the depth. No, the Matthew McConaughey?
The Matthew McConaughey depth.
Yes. I was just saying how last night I had a little bit too much of Grandpa's lettuce, and and I turned on a total weird whim, which I will probably finish later tonight. Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It was fun. Actually, I was like Emma Stone. It's one of her very early.
That sounds fun. Was that that's like a magical realism rom-com?
It's like because I was on our Christmas Carol kick.
I kind of love rom-coms that they're not even they're sci-fi movies. I love fantasy movies and sci-fi movies that decide to be romantic comedies. They're like, yeah, it's about time travel, but romantic time travel.
Yeah, they don't really follow I mean, it's really Emma Stone. Like, was that her? Like,
Emma Stone's big breakout was super bad, as far as I know.
So this must have been before Crazy Stupid Love,
mm-hmm.
but after Superbad. So somewhere in the middle before.
2007,
because I feel like
I think
Crazy Stupid Love was like the thing that really made her like a starlet.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Ghosts of Girlfriends Past is 2007. Oh, it's 2009. But yeah, that fits in there.
Yeah. So she plays like. Well, I haven't finished it.
Lacey Chabert's in it too.
Yes, she's one of the main characters.
Dang, pretty dope.
So yeah, might be finishing that up later tonight. Or restart it with you if you want.
Well, maybe I will, but not tonight. Because I gotta go back to work tomorrow morning.
Right.
Wonder Woman 84. A disappointment. I hadn't even really thought about all the things. I was overhearing while I was grabbing the stuff to clean this up with. I hadn't even really thought about all those plot points. Like, you're right. And I think the reason I don't even think about them is because it's like I don't even respect the movie. You know how Scorsese got into all that trouble for saying that superhero movies were like theme park rides? I don't think that's the case for all superhero movies. I do think that is a big part of what they're modeled to be. And I do think that's not really an insult to them. I think it's an accurate descriptor for several. This one, DC in particular, doesn't give a shit if things make sense. Marvel from the beginning wanted everything to link together and make sense and build a world, and they invested in it, and they had rules, and they have Kevin Feige the entire way saying, you can do that, no, you can't do that. Sometimes that results in a beef with Joss Whedon, sometimes it results in you losing Edgar Wright from Ant-Man, but you've got consistency. You've got a consistent producer holding it together. DC has changed hands and concepts and ideas so many times that they don't give a shit if you know what's going on. This movie is gonna make money. I think that's the callous cash grab part of it. This movie never needed to be a good movie. It never was designed to be a good movie. It was designed to make money. So having a plot that is based on a magical wish rock that we don't know anything about, why fuck not? You want to bring Chris Pine back? Chris Pine's in the movie now. Now we get Chris Pine fans, you know? Like, I think that's why I don't have the same level of disappointment in this movie, is because I'm not trying to come in assuming DC's going to do worse, but their track record has shown me they are here to do the theme park ride. It doesn't matter if the plot makes sense. As long as I'm not thinking about it too hard and I pay them the money and I get through one watch and have a decent time, that's fine. And for me, popcorn and candy and soda, 2 hours of a movie that, like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to last. It's not going to be remembered as a classic. It's probably a bad thing for the state of movie making that studios are starting to rely on IPs being on screen in the cheapest way possible and the laziest way possible to be their tentpoles instead of actually trying to craft things. That's probably a death knell in some way. But the movie itself, I can't muster any anger towards, because it's like being angry at my fucking detergent when it runs out. It's a product.
Oh, I know. The only other thought that I had that maybe you touched on this, but I felt like the movie was trying to pay homage to the show, but also be like a modern DC movie, and like those two things did not mix well. I'm gonna have to look this up to make sure that we've got it right, but I believe the show is mid-70s.
Now, one of my best friends in college on a whim, bought the entire show on DVD when we were hanging out. 1975, 3 years. I don't know why he did. He was on sale, and he was like, I just bought all 3 seasons of Wonder Woman. We watched a good amount of it. I watched maybe 3 or 4 episodes with him. I didn't grow up watching it or anything. It's not in my bones. Oh, fuck. Hydrate. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
What is this hydrate thing?
Well, we have points on our channel that when people build up points by being Twitch users, they're allowed to use them to ask us to do things. Oh. So people can use points to force me to freestyle rap or force us to hydrate. And they're things that are baked into the Twitch.
I love that.
Yeah, I forget what yours is, but it's in there somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna go get that water and come back and hydrate.
Squeak like a mouse?
No, it's not squeak like a mouse. It should be. I think it's a character bit. Oh, speaking of mice, y'all remember a few weeks ago when we had our Christmas mouse on the show?
When the box, and I was like, what the heck?
And it was a Christmas mouse that had gotten into the house that I rescued from our cat.
That we named Cheddar?
Yeah, we named him, and we found, I was walking past the tree, and the tree shook, and the cat was staring at it, and I said, is there a mouse in our tree? And
we did a bit because we have a mouse ornament, and we were like, yeah, a mouse in a bathtub reading a book.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that ornament? It was a living mouse in the tree.
It was our Christmas mouse.
So it was the Christmas mouse back again. So we put the cat in the other room, and we very, very carefully got this mouse over like 10 minutes of carefully poking, maneuvering, making sure not to scare him, got him safely into a box, opened the front door, say, go free, little buddy, dump the box onto the front lawn. He hops out of the box, bounds about 6 feet total, a cat that's sleeping under the car in the driveway, comes out from behind the tire, catches him immediately, and runs off.
Oh, it was like,
and gone. It was tragic. Like, I felt like I'd hand-fed my Christmas.
Gutted.
Well, I know that it's just nature, and I know there's nothing inherently wrong about it, but it really felt like I'd taken our Christmas mouse, given it a cute name, and then put it into the and then given it to a monster. Like to that.
No, you gave it to a Garcliff.
I gave to Garcliff, the orange cat in our neighborhood. Well, the other cat's named Monster. That's a good joke. It's a good joke for me.
Inside joke, yeah. We have some cold cats. And one of them is named Monster, and one of them is named Garcliff. Garcliff is the one that caught the mouse, not Monster. So when Adam said, fed it to a monster, and I said, no, Garcliff. You see, therein lies the humor.
Oh, what a nice little mouse. Let me introduce you to my good buddy Wood Chipper. Yeah, it felt like that. It felt bad. It felt like I'd killed the mouse. And I don't like hurting things. Okay, Great Job Nerd said, there's a particularly offensive scene right after Barbara asked Diana to get lunch. The scene begins with Diana laughing, saying to Barb, you're so funny and personable and sweet. As if that's supposed to establish her character to prove she's good at heart before being corrupted into a cheetah. I mean, yeah, it's just bad writing. It's terrible. Actually, that's terrible writing. To have a character say, you are these character attributes to another. It's not easy. You're endowing. That's like bad improv, let alone bad you've had time to write it and do drafts for a $1 million movie. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think I still feel with this movie that I just didn't really expect anything, and I'm only minorly disappointed, and I'm more so just surprised that it came out during a pandemic.
Yeah, what is Wedge saying here? I'm just trying to catch up on this.
Sorry, yeah. DC is now making 4 movies a year, even though half of them suck and they were the worst movies. Yes. Hey, I'm glad to see someone throwing Joker into the bad movie bin. I don't know how many movies I'll say suck on this show, except for a Serbian film. But Joker, I felt like was over-validated. Joker's the mediocre white man of movies. It doesn't matter. They will make movies and they're going to keep making them. They're going to keep doing it. And at least Marvel, it really is the difference between someone who's done all the homework and studied and realized if I do things this way, I can be really proud of the work I'm doing and I can really profit off of it and people really like it. And then this other person saying, Marvel's got that long game, and over here, DC feels like fucking Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems being like, I got it this time. I got it. This time it's going to work. I didn't work. It's not a big deal. We still got money. except making money. They just never learn their lesson because they make a chunk of change no matter what. And so Marvel is building... maybe the difference is just that they're both making money, but Marvel is investing in a future and DC's not. DC is very much like trying to get paid for this week. They want to go buy a new Xbox game. Marvel's putting money in a fucking Roth IRA. You know what I mean? Different.
Yeah.
Borderlands style introduction slide. Did y'all watch Soul? This is the other new movie I watched this week. Soul.
I did not watch Soul.
I watched it last night.
You were watching Soul. I was watching Ghosts of Girlfriend's Past.
I really liked Soul. So I think my favorite Pixar movie is Monsters Inc. Excuse me, Monsters Inc. Pete Docter is the director of Monsters Inc. Please don't crucify me for this, but I have not loved Pete Docter's follow-ups to Monsters Inc. He did Up.
Hey, Xander. Sorry.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
What up, Xander? Favorite is Coco. See, I need to see Coco. I had a few years where I missed everything Pixar was putting out. I need to watch. But I wanted to be part of the conversation and not miss it this time, so I watched it last night. I really liked it. I liked it. So, Pete Docter, I love him. I love Monsters, Inc. But I wasn't a huge fan of Inside Out or Up, which were his other two. And the reason I wasn't a big fan of them is because they very much... both of them do a thing where, just like Monsters, Inc. does, and I think I'm going to walk myself through this. All of his movies, including Soul, do a thing where they take some intangible quality of being a human and they commodify it and turn it into an item or a machine. So the easiest way to explain this would be with the balls of memory in Inside Out. These are similar, actually exact same conceit as Neverending Story 2 uses with the balls of memory and the little pinball or gumball machine they roll around in. But the balls of memory, the connective tissue between worlds of imagination, it's all taking something like imagination or memory, which has no form, is a formless concept, and giving it form, giving it bright, colorful form, and turning it into a teaching tool for kids. You're now able to take this really difficult, big adult concept, and you're able to look at it, and it's a little round, glowing ball, and we can talk about that. And Monsters Inc. does that really well with not very well, but very explicitly with laughter and screams as fuel. It commodifies human emotion, and it's still kind of problematic at the end of the day, but it's a freaking great movie. Up, I feel like Up tells me a story of the human life cycle in its first 15 minutes, makes me cry, and then makes me hold on for a less interesting story. And Inside Out, I felt like I maybe wasn't the right audience for it. I understand and I value and see why it's valuable to have those teaching tools, but sometimes Pixar, for lack of a better word, can come across as a little preachy. They come across as like the wise elder who's going to show you how to live a good human life. And I don't like that coming from Disney. Even though that's kind of Disney's whole vibe, it's a little sus to me. Anyway, Soul, I feel like, did it in a way that actually resonated with me. Didn't make me feel used like Inside Out did, or Up. It made me feel, I think I was readier for it. There's still things about it that just weird me out.
Soul?
Soul, yeah. I don't love this. So very much the message of Soul is like, it's all about like, it reminded me of us. We're single-mindedly often driven towards our goals to be like full-time creators and artists. And we want that life so badly. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's all we focus on. I'm especially guilty of this. Sometimes you get so caught up in these repetitive loops of thinking that you get stuck. And you're not actually living your life. You're not breathing the air. You're not enjoying the little things. Soul is very much about someone who that's happening to, who learns the lesson of slowing down. Basically, the moral of Soul is stop and smell the roses. It's actually got a very simple message. I think it worked for me because I'm somewhat resentful of stories like Judd Apatow does this a lot, where a lot of Judd Apatow stories are basically like, here's a story about how you should settle down and enjoy life. And it always reminds me of Last Temptation of Christ, when Jesus is like, I want to go do all this stuff, and the devil's like, no, have a baby, get married and have a baby. That's the life. It often reminds me of that trick and that temptation. Anyway, I felt like Soul managed to... Hi.
I'm
trying to talk about this movie, but I feel like Soul didn't talk down to me in that way. It met me where I was, and I liked it. I thought it was very sweet.
Well, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the flip. So the plot of Soul is basically, I mean, the less you know, the better. I didn't really know anything going in, so I won't say too much. But it's essentially, it's a story of the afterlife and death and what living a life means. And a big part of the movie centers around finding your spark. And there's the essential argument at the crux of the conflict is some people think a spark means your purpose, like I was born to make movies, I was born to play guitar. Mm-hmm. And some people think your spark just means enjoying being alive, smelling the freshly cut grass, petting a dog. And the movie, this is what I say, sometimes I feel resentful of people who have millions of dollars in their bank accounts, who are the most celebrated artists in the world, telling me to be more comfortable being broke and working a job I don't like and just smell the roses more. That sometimes I get that feeling. I'm like, all right, Pete Docter, okay, but you're like living the dream, dude. It's always easier to say it backwards. So sometimes I do feel like there's a palliative quality to Pixar stuff where it's like the warmth of that. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword because at once it's the warmth of a family, which can be either a stymie to progress or it can be something you really should appreciate. I felt Soul balanced it well. And Jamie Foxx's voice acting was great. Also, Tina Fey was in it. I didn't know this. I was like, whoever this is good. It was Tina Fey. All right.
Oh, I don't.
We'll watch
Is
Coco.
that a spoiler?
We'll watch Coco. Let me read.
I just saw last line of the movie and I was like, ooh.
I read an article that Doctor said that the last line of the movie was originally about loving every moment, but he made it more open-ended because it's more relatable that way. Yeah, that's not a spoiler. And it's a Pixar movie. It's not. Yeah. You know.
An emotional revelation at the end of the film.
Right, and I think that's why.
I've never heard of such a thing.
I think that's honestly why I've got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder against like post-success Pixar, because it feels like once they really became like the multi-million-dollar award factory that they currently are, they just assumed that they were the wise older sibling who got to tell you what was up. And part of me, that's why I'm like, yeah, but Kung Fu Panda taught me about genocide.
I was about to say, I think you are also, you hold DreamWorks and you can't let them just exist separately.
It's that specific era.
Them, next to each other, and you say, yeah, but DreamWorks is underappreciated, so therefore there must be something inherently wrong with Pixar.
Okay, that's fair, but I don't think it's inherent. I do think you're right. I do make it a zero-sum game, which is not fair. I will say, I think that's particularly one specific aspect I'm clinging to of like 2012, where they were both at in that year, felt to me unfair. I felt that Pixar was being overvalidated. But essentially, backing up from that ledge, what it really boils down to is I think they make good examples. Pixar is going to explain to you what the movie's about. It's going to take you and it's going to sit you down. It's going to explain what it's about. And I think that the Dragon and Kung Fu Panda movies in particular don't explain in the same way. They just have themes. And to me, I think the irony there is that Pixar is often thought of as the adult artistic factory and DreamWorks is often thought of as the kid movies factory. But to me, a movie that embodies its themes through its plot and its performances is more adult than one that tells me the story. And so I think, if anything, I've grown to respect Pixar more by seeing them as golden books, seeing them as kids movies. And the more I see them as kids movies, the more I like them. I think for a while there, the world wanted me to think of Pixar as adult movies. I don't know.
I think that's interesting. I've never thought of Pixar as adult movies.
I think it was just like it was maybe just people I was around.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's an interesting perspective. I think that maybe because of Up is...
It was WALL-E was first for me.
Right.
And I saw WALL-E. I could not have seen it under better circumstances to like a movie. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe actually when I saw WALL-E, maybe it's on me. Because I wanted the adult movie. I wanted what I'd seen in the trailers. I'd wanted this silent film or this musical. This dialogue-free musical between two robots. I wanted that. I wanted the Chaplin movie.
Yeah.
And I got the movie about overweight people in a spaceship. And I didn't like what I got.
Yeah. I hear that.
Spoiler. I thought it was...
Oh, wait. If there's a spoiler...
No, I'm not going to read it. Thank you for labeling it.
Thank you.
That's interesting. See, that I would not have... That was what I thought was going to happen, too. And I was prepared to... I hope it doesn't do that, because that, I think, would be a disappointing message. I like the message much more that it's open-ended. And that's why I liked it. I think that actually... Thank you, Vineet, for pointing that out, because I think I just realized what it is. I think I felt Up was trying to give me advice on how to live a good life. I think I felt that Inside Out was trying to give me advice on how to live a good life. And I felt like Soul was trying to tell me a story of a person who was struggling with how to live a good life. And I didn't feel like it had a good answer for me at the end. And I thought it would. And when it didn't, when it just said, life, right? I was like, thank you, Soul. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for treating me that way. And I liked it more. Yeah, maybe that weirdly what I'm saying is sometimes the direct themes are... I think maybe that's why I like it. I think because it's not nailing it on... It's not... Did you get it? Yeah, it has a softer touch. It was more subtle. I thought it was...
Now, do you think it feels like more of an adult movie?
Yeah, I do. It feels like a story with a theme that I can relate to.
It's more like a DreamWorks film?
Yeah, or like Pixar back in the pre-Ratatouille days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I do. And I should be fair. When I say DreamWorks, I'm really only talking about 2 franchises.
Right. The How to Train Your Dragon and
Kung Fu Panda. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is this energy?
What?
What is this?
What?
Like you know me. Oh, yeah. See, Vineet's on the same page as me. Did you get it? Yeah. Poop in my diaper. I don't know what the poop in the diaper thing is in reference to.
I'm avoiding the chat because I want to wait till it filters out the spoiler.
Cool. Well, let's move on from Soul. And just for the I'm not trying to always... I know that I get caught up on that. I think for me, I'm rigidly holding on to a specific experience in 2012 when I felt very alone because I'd seen Inside Out and I felt like... Or not Inside Out, Up. And I felt disappointed and everyone that I tried to tell Kung Fu Panda was good to told me it was stupid. And so I think I have some contrarian stuff in me. But if I'm really trying to think about it, you're right. They don't need to be compared. I think ultimately my point is just I respect the people making good genre movies that have well thought out themes that are expressed through dialogue and plot more than I appreciate the the Prestige studio telling me a morality tale, doing a morality play for me.
I hear that.
Starting Coco for the first time now. Bless up, Xander.
I was thinking, sounds like we gotta watch Coco this week.
Yeah, maybe Coco can be a movie club pick.
That would be really fun.
I still want to watch Mank and Tenet. Those are the 2 new releases, but I don't think we should make Tenet the movie club pick because it costs $20 to watch, and I don't want to do that to anybody.
Not on New Year's.
Buckle up.
Or on my watch.
Not on my watch, New Year's time. I still am going to watch Eyes Wide Shut this week, by the way.
Oh, right.
Well, did anyone else have anything they watched? No Turbo Kid yet. I'm sorry.
We went full on Christmas movie.
Yeah. Christmas movie, and then I watched... Really, it was Christmas movies, and then I was on Twitter, and I was like, everyone has an opinion on Wonder Woman and Soul. So, I'm going to watch those for the stream. So we did.
And I'm not on Twitter.
We did also watch the Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas special. The best Christmas special ever.
It is.
All right, cool. Well, oh yeah, Mank is on Netflix for sure. I'm so curious about Tenet.
I am too. Maybe we should watch that later.
Maybe we'll watch that tonight. I don't know. Maybe we'll rent it. I don't know. $20.
I mean, we split it.
I mean, yeah. That's.
You know.
Speaking of which, while we do this transition slide, we should talk about what you owe me from last night's favor delivery. It's Movie Club. That said movie club. Let's try it. There it was.
That's a lot of money.
Pathos, get out! I'm just joking, Pathos. Please stay. Don't leave. Don't leave. I'm so sorry. Please stay. Pee Wee Herman is. Do you like SpongeBob? That's the character. I think that it got creepy because he's an adult man who some asshole ratted on jerking off in a porno theater. Doesn't make the character creepy. He's not a pedophile. He's just a big kid, a forever kid, just like SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'd say if you're looking for an entry point for Pee Wee, the Christmas special is a great one.
Mm-hmm. It's the best. I mean, I think the movie, I own the whole show, and I grew up watching the show. My mom still texts me, like, remember when you ran to the Pee Wee Herman section at the video store growing up?
Oh,
I
no.
did.
Pathos intensely dislike SpongeBob.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's just not the character archetype for you, homie. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have not watched the Coming to America trailer yet. The Coming to America 2. There's a sequel coming out.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't that was that like a pre-lockdown thing that got pushed?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like I heard that announced a long time, although time is irrelevant at this point, but a long time ago, and then nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious if production got stalled on that or something. Looks like Tony's agreeing with Pathos.
Well, Tony, is your same here that you used to run to rent the movies as a kid, rent the tapes as a kid, or that you intensely dislike SpongeBob? See, I grew up loving Pee-wee, and I think the best entry points, I would agree, Christmas special, and the Christmas special is going to synthesize everything that makes the show good into one thing.
Yeah.
And the show's for kids. The Christmas special is much more for families, so I think it's got a bit more of an adult vibe. And then also the movie, Tim Burton, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, I'm hungry, y'all. Did Mike pick that up?
Oh, dang. So Tony G. Wiz ran to go get Pee-wee tapes. Pee-wee tapes and Turtles tapes, man. That's what I'm talking about all the time. And then Pathos, Nickelodeon would show Power Rangers. Interesting. Oh, this must have been, okay, I remember that. Yeah. It's been like 2003. TMNT's the shit, baby.
TMNT is the shit.
There's my tattoo. All right, we're in the new arrivals section of the show. Feels like a perfect segue to say that's new. If y'all
Hold on, let me
have seen, we got some. We had a good Christmas. Look, Steph's sister. If you're watching, Catherine, thank you. Steph's sister laced us up for Christmas. Also got laced up on the gift card front. And yes, we got the Turtles arcade machine from Arcade 1-Up. It sits in the corner of this room, so it's going to be here for every episode. Maybe we'll turn it on. I just thought that maybe it would be distracting. But this thing rules. I also successfully... I can hear clicking.
Ooh.
I successfully gated this yesterday, which I was pretty proud of myself for. Not that hard, and anyone who's done it will be like, don't be proud of yourself for that. It's very easy. But I had to take off the control panel and unscrew it and put in new gates for the joysticks, so now they move in a smoother, more arcade-like direction. Pluto has a Turtles channel on. Channel.
What is Pluto TV?
Pluto TV is like a streaming service with a bunch of channels, right, Pathos?
Oh, wait. I think I've heard of
Let's move on to the next new arrival. The next new arrival is this bad boy. Yes, this is a Sega Saturn. Sploing? This is a Sega Saturn console. Now, speaking of your family, just really I feel like your family made it so easy to have a nerdy Christmas.
Yeah,
So
my family really, we don't do anything extravagant ever. With no vacations and no big fancy dinners. But Christmas is our one time to spoil each other.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about being drawn to the family. It's wonderful. Yes, this is a functional Sega Saturn. I have been playing it. It's unplugged now, obviously. But there's a great spot in Austin, Texas called Game Over Video Games. They're a Texas chain. I'm going to really miss them when we move. And Steph's mom, for the last 3 years, has gotten me a gift card to Game Over. And I always use it to get some big ticket item that I couldn't otherwise afford or wouldn't otherwise justify. This year, I ran there the next day. I saw the Sega Saturn there. I said, I don't know. And I went back 2 hours later and got it because I couldn't stand that maybe it would be gone. So I just want to say...
That's how you know.
That's how you know. Huge shout outs to Derek. If you're watching, because when I bought this, I talked to him about this stream. And I said, no pressure to watch, but if you happen to tune in, I'm going to shout you out. So thank you, Derek. The Anderson Road location of this store in Austin, Texas they're so cool. They're so friendly.
Yeah, super nice.
And he helped me out. So they have a
and they're very honest, which
yes.
I love about them. I was going to buy you, what did I get you for your birthday last?
It was you were going to get Ape Escape for me.
And I said, level with me, what do you think? And he took it out of the case and kind of was looking at it and was like, you know what? No. It's scratch. It's too many scratches. This is not up to, the standard that the type of collector Adam.
He knows me.
Yeah.
They're awesome. He also replaced the disc on this with one he had behind the counter. This is Nights into Dreams. This is the big flagship title for the Saturn. And it's the only game I have for it because I'm going to be real with you folks. Games for this machine are more expensive than the machine itself. So I will likely be either playing a lot of bootlegs on it or just playing this game for a while. That's fine. I wanted to get it. I love Sega. The Saturn has always kind of been a mythical thing to me. The Saturn and the Dreamcast. I can't believe that in the same calendar year I've gotten them both from the same store. But to your point, excuse me, so gassy. But to your point about honesty, yes, basically I said, I want to get this. I'm going to use a gift card on it. Do I still get reward points? Which is 10% back they do. So he was like, let me do this. You buy the system with your gift cards, then you get reward points back. Plus, anytime you get a system, you get a game for free that's less than $10. So then he basically picked this up for me, said, I've got a cleaner disc for this behind the counter, replaced the disc, gave me the new game, the free new game discount off of it, and then applied my points to it. So I was able to walk home with a Sega Saturn and Nights into Dreams for $50 out of my pocket, which if I were to buy that all on eBay right now, it'd be around $300. So I'm stoked as hell that this is here. I cannot wait. We're absolutely going to be streaming this. Absolutely going to be streaming it.
And it's very, very pretty.
It is very pretty. It's from Sonic Team, from the people who made Sonic.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they never did a Sonic game for this system. Another reason that people think it failed. Also, plenty of videos out there from game historians that know.
Sorry.
Hashtag Budge. It was.
You said a Hashtown.
I love that. Hashtown Buzz. There's plenty of.
Sorry.
Oh, there's plenty of great Sega historians that can tell you why Sega went under as a console developer. I will tell you that they were releasing mods on the Genesis, the Saturn, and the Dreamcast in the same length of time that other companies were just doing one. GameStops, I'm sorry. You can get these arcade machines at GameStop, just saying.
That makes me sad, though, that the last mom and pop game shop.
That is a bummer. I mean, to be honest, Pathos, that's why we are doing this show. because I grew up working at video stores. Both of them went out of business as I was working at them. I helped audit inventory and close them down both times. Moved to Austin. I thought, oh my God, Vulcan and I Love, like holding it down. Austin is so hip. These places are always going to have an audience here because my generation will hold it down. It's a big enough city. Both of those video stores are now gone because of the pandemic and because of business being bad. Streaming truly has crushed the mom and pop brick and mortar media store. And as we've talked about before, the people who own these licenses like that because they want to be able to have a subscription from you and you don't get it anywhere else. That's why we're here. That's why we celebrate this shit. That's why we talk about it. That's why we come across like, look, my greatest fear, I never want to come across like a spoiled kid who's like, look at all my toys. That's not why I do this. I don't do this to gratify my own ego. We do this to try and save things from time. So hopefully we're doing a little bit of that. Pathos knows how to build their own arcade machine. Pop a Raspberry Pi in there with a few hundred games on it. Well, guess what? Her sister's boyfriend got me a Raspberry Pi starter kit for Christmas, and I have no idea how to use it.
Not a clue.
No idea whatsoever.
Not a clue.
Teach me. Because maybe I'll mod out that Raspberry Pi and put it in this and have a bunch of shit on it. Who knows? Anyway, let's keep on moving with the new arrivals. Now, like I said, Christmas week, I'm going to shout out some homies. I don't know if Great Job Nerds is still here or not, but Great Job Nerds sent a beautiful care package. It was very turtle-centric. There's an original Donatello action figure from his personal private childhood collection. That means more in the world than literally any collectible could. He also sent this, which is a Golden Books Ninja Turtles book, which is igniting my baby fever. Ah! Nope, gone, stop. Hate that noise. Let's come into focus. I'm gonna have to walk up with these. Stephanie got me these. And folks, these just might be the coolest little collector's thing that I've ever seen. Stephanie knows that Gremlins 2 is one of my favorite movies. It was our movie of the week. And she found two 1990 Gremlins 2 pins, one of Stripe and one of Gizmo. And I adore them, and I can't believe that you found them on their original backs.
I did.
Original cards, as they say.
The first time I bought anything on my own from eBay.
That's incredible. Earlier in the stream, we talked about Point Blank, shoot at the screen game for PlayStation. Got this for Christmas for myself. Super stoked about it, and actually found a great deal on this because the disc and the case I bought separately from two different eBay sellers, and got it for $30. I got this all in all for $25. So I got it for about half off just because I bought it, the disc and the case, two different places. Pro tip: a lot of times people are trying to unload stuff in chunks. Buy it from different people; it'll cost you less.
Chunky.
What?
Chunky.
Also want to shout out a few gifts from Vineet from Great Job Nerds. Got us this video store, the Movie Hut video store puzzle from Mondo that we are going to absolutely be putting together, lacquering, and framing on our wall, hopefully for this stream. And then he also got us Polyester, a John Waters movie that I've never seen. And here's the funnest thing about this, is it comes with an Odorama scratch and sniff card to scratch and sniff to experience in the movie as it originally.
That's so fun.
I'm so excited about it.
Great detail.
Great fun.
Thank you, Wedge.
She's very good at it, but it's such a scary sound. Okay. And then two final things. Would you like to show this?
Yes! Adam got me Girl Talk. An original Girl Talk. I'm trying to tilt it, but not
I know the box is not sealed.
This is a game that I had growing up, but got at a yard sale, and so wasn't complete. I'm trying to figure out the best way to show this. Anyways, it's a very silly game.
basically truth or dare, right?
It's truth or dare.
Which I did not realize. I thought this was like a dream date style game, but it's essentially like put whipped cream on your nose.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be a fun one to.
We should play this tonight.
Play with.
We should make this a drinking game.
We should.
Every time you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Drink. And then finally, this came today. This was my present for myself. Actually, that's a lie. I used a gift card on it. This is, had to get it, y'all. I know that this is silly. But here's the thing. I have not kept up with buying Star Wars Blu-rays as the new ones have come out. And I'm a completionist. So I see my Blu-rays of the other 6 movies staring at me. And I say, I don't want to spend $30 each on every one in the new trilogy. I don't even like them that much. But you know what? I could justify a cool looking box set of the whole Skywalker saga. So this is actually a UK release. Oh, there's a little beer mark on it. I'll have to get that. This is actually a UK release. They're region free, so they play in the States. Now, when this came out earlier this year, it also came out in a 4K. And the 4K box set's giant. The 4K box set's like this long, and it immediately sold out. And it's like $500 on Amazon, and I don't have a 4K TV. I don't care. But check this out. Fun little individualized trilogies in there. So it's got, you know, the prequel, the original, and the sequel trilogies, and then each of them come with their own little special features discs.
That's a fun little box.
Just a fun little box.
Hey, look
That's
at that little box. Yeah.
And you still haven't seen the final Star Wars.
I haven't.
I mean, you know, it is what it is, but I think it'll be your new Wonder Woman 84. You're like, I don't hate that I watched it.
Oh.
Much more colorful than Wonder Woman.
Oh. Sign me up.
Well, y'all, that was our new arrivals for the week. We had a very good Christmas, and feel a little bit embarrassed by how much cool tech stuff we got.
You didn't show the wreath?
Oh shit, I didn't want to go grab it, but I will.
Yeah, I mean...
No, I'll do it. I'll be right back. I thought maybe it'd be... Yeah, no, they'll want to see the wreath.
I mean...
The people want the wreath!
My sister is incredibly crafty. She does really interesting, cool things with makeup, and she also does a lot of cosplay. She goes to lots and lots of cons, and she does really impressive cosplay, and yeah, she makes her costumes and her props and comes up with these really interesting makeup designs and hair designs. Is that a thing? Hair designs. Yeah, but she makes she's very crafty, very creative, and I'll let Adam, I guess, tell the rest of the story, but the thing she made for him is hanging on our door right now, to be packed away very carefully for every Christmas to come. I don't know what that means, Pathos, but I'm sure she would. I wish... She doesn't really use social media as the thing, and I keep telling her, like, you need to be making tutorial videos and like makeup tutorials and the like, for example, is anyone familiar with the Guild? Felicia Day's The Guild. See, that's cool. That's awesome. I love that, Pathos. I've dabbled very lightly in cosplay. I made myself a Kaylee costume. I made the jumper, and I made myself a Bill S. Preston Esquire costume where I recreated the sweatshirt and the jeans as close to perfectly as I could. And who else? Luna. I made a Quibbler. I'm trying to think if I did any other ones. But I'm so impressed by people who like make this stuff from scratch. Like, I am much better at finding items and putting them together in very smart ways to recreate things and adding details, like, you know, like hand painted details and things like that. Did not write ROS. Okay, first of all, the guild. So she made the avatar, Felicia Day's avatar. She made that cosplay like from nothing, including her big, would you call that a staff? I don't know what maybe a staff, but I mean, just really impressive. Hours of work, very, very cool. Which I think somebody shouted her. And anyways, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I don't know what RO. Oh, that would be great. Did you know right in there? I'm hearing wrestling. Rustling, not wrestling. I'll have to ask my sister about, is it Eva? Or is it EVA? Like PVC pipe? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm very curious. Man, I wish I had pictures of some of this stuff. I'm trying to. Yeah. Hey, maybe next week I can kind of gather all these pictures in one place. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing that my sister made for Adam for Christmas.
The battery may have died because we left it on.
Oh, I turned it off,
you turned it off?
So that wouldn't happen. But it lights up and blinks in different.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to see it in this light anyway. But look at, isn't this amazing? So it's an Orin from the Neverending Story, the gem, as it's also called. And then this inner material here is like Falcor pelt, like Falcor fur texture. So it's just this beautiful Neverending Story wreath. Really gives me major ivory tower vibes on the outside, Falcor in the middle, and the Orin in the center. And the Orin is just so perfectly done.
What do you think she made that out of?
I don't know. It feels like
we were just talking about EVA foam, which Pathos
like
was saying when we were talking about cosplay, and I'm wondering if that's EVA foam.
It definitely feels like a moldable foam that she very thoughtfully made work.
We were just going off on a side tangent about cosplay and.
Pathos watched Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
Wedge does hate them. I saw it 3 times in theater, Wedge. I don't hate. But one time was with a friend, Matt Shirley, who had an extra ticket and invited me to go on opening night. And that was really fun going to see a movie with Matt. One of the last times I got to see a movie in theater with a friend before lockdown. Then again, I saw it with... who else did I see it with?
Your brother?
With my brother and my dad. But I saw it the 3rd time.
By yourself?
No, I don't even know.
You go with Vinny?
Maybe.
I don't think Vinny and I went together.
Devin?
Maybe I saw it with Devin. Maybe. I don't even know. I love all my friends so much.
Oh, hey! That is cool. So, I don't know what this deal is with this, but...
That's neat.
Pathos was talking about making a Harley Quinn mallet for his friend.
That's cool.
That is very cool. Wow.
That was your first time working with this foam too, huh?
Really? Wow.
Do you want another drink, by the way? Because I just realized I left my refill. Won't take a million years, I promise.
I'm good. I still have some of my Myowell. Hashtag not a sponsor. It's a maybe.
It's a maybe. By the way, here's my final new arrival. Anyone remember SWAT Cats? My brother got this for me for Christmas. I was watching some episodes late the other night. This is a really fun game. Actually, I wonder if there's a fun game associated with it. Probably would be fun. Really fun show. It's late era Hanna-Barbera, 90s Hanna-Barbera. It's still ACAB all day, but the SWAT Cats do hold it down. And it's really just a very fun comic book style kind of almost like American anime style of these just like that 90s sci-fi comic book thing of just like rockets on lasers on rockets, except they're cats and they're underground crime fighters, and they have a fun duo, and the voice of the little cat is Donatello's voice from the Turtles. What more do you want?
Hey, we're getting some SWAT Cats love in the...
SWAT Cats! Oh. I love SWAT Cats! Yeah, SWAT Cats is really fun. I was like, when I got this, I was like, oh yeah, fuck, we're gonna watch some SWAT Cats. SWAT Cats Season 2 intro is one of my favorite things of all time. Well, this is the complete series. I will say, Hanna-Barbera really put this together in the cheapest way possible.
Oh, yeah.
I hate this packaging. And also,
use of space, though.
It is, but I'd rather have a double wide, cool looking SWAT Cat's spine.
Well, I mean, not everyone has. I'm just kidding. It's obviously that they did it because it's cheap.
That's why they didn't do it, because they were thinking about people who have less space than we have in our home. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to show off the final. I feel like this is just a kid being like, here's what I got for Christmas, but it's relevant.
Oh, hey, Wedge says there's a SNES game for SWAT Cats.
Oh, hell yeah. Find that. Stephanie got us this also.
Oh yeah, that was one of your Grambers.
This was a Christmas present from Stephanie to me, and it is I love it. It's amazing. I had a Crash Bandicoot toy in this exact same mold when I was a kid, and I guarantee it's the same mold, and I love it, and it looks beautiful, and NECA did a great job.
And I saw you eyeballing that at Toy Joy. Shout out Toy Joy.
Toy Joy.
If you're in Austin, or you can order online, I think. Check out Toy Joy. Great indie toy store. I saw Adam eyeball on that NECA Crash toy, and I was like, you know what? Opening a toy on Christmas is it's just so magical. So, and you can support Toy Joy, an independent toy store, in a time where independent stores...
We based the... by the way... This program is put on by our company, right, Baby Lion, and the biggest thing we've ever done is we produced a sitcom based on Toy Joy that was shot there overnights at Toy Joy. All right, well, I got to look up this SWAT Cats on SNES over here and see what we see.
Tony.
Holy crapoly.
Oh, wow. Tony G. wants to know, what do you call that kind of mask in the box? The Aku Aku?
The Aku Aku mask, yes. Aku Aku is his name. Oh, hey, thanks, Pathos. Pathos just dropped our link. Yes, the Aku Aku mask, and then there's a villain in the third Crash game called Uka Uka, which is Aku Aku backwards. Thank you, Pathos. So you can find Pathos is always so on the ball.
He always got our back.
You can find every archived episode of this show over at that link on Baby Lion on our YouTube page. You can also find some fun ASMR videos. We're going to be doing more of those. That's also the show I mentioned earlier, Rappers Playing Games. You want to watch some retro gameplay with me interviewing rappers from Austin. That's on there.
Sponsored by Game Over Video Games.
Sponsored by Game Over Video Games. Yes, it's all connected.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, like if Stephanie and I are making it, it is probably related to some sort of childlike joy and some sort of supporting of a local business, because that tends to be our vibe.
Yeah.
By the way, here's another link for anyone who wants to pick up that SWAT Cats. There you go.
Holy moly.
So we
360. Oh, that's
for a lot with a couple of other really rare ones though. Looks like the best on eBay right now is 150. Nope, 120. You can get SWAT Cats original, it says, for 120. I don't know about y'all, but this might be a game that if we find a cartridge to play this for a stream, I'm thinking it might be a bootleg that we buy. Also, speaking of bootlegs, Stephanie, guess what I found earlier that I think I'm going to have to jump into? Well, I'll tell you. It's several Sailor Moon bootleg games from SNES era.
Uh-oh.
And guess what the bootleggers did? Put them in pink cases.
Uh-oh. That's right up your alley.
Right up it. I also used your eBay gift cards earlier, by the way. The ones you got me. I got Elemental.
Did you get Elemental Gearbolt?
I did. I got Elemental Gearbolt. And guess what I did? Because I'm super, super freaking smart.
What?
Oh, wait. No. This is the guy who had it with no manual. Never mind. I didn't mess up like I thought I did. Everyone on the stream was being super encouraging. And Watch Out Wedge in particular was saying, like, go ahead and, use your money. You got the gift cards. Go for it. We got your back. Mm-hmm. And then you know what happened? Well, the auction I was looking at, it went higher than another listing that looked like it was in the same condition. So you know what I did? I let it go. And then I bought the other one while it was at that low price using your gift card. Wow. Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, DBZ and Sailor Moon. So I do like to sometimes, we've played those on the show before, but like, I know that some collectors of games and tapes hate bootlegs because they dilute the market with fakes that are hard to identify. Personally, if a game has never been released in the US and you want to put that on a cart and put it in a cart that looks cool, I think that blends with the rest of my collection. I will pay for that, the extra $15 versus getting a free ROM. Like, I like the physicality of it. So I was actually looking at Sailor Moon games earlier today. Also, fun thing I just learned, since we're talking about games and game over video game, the Sega Saturn, now, like I was saying, most of the games for this are way out of my price range. They're mostly 100 or above. But it has this little cartridge in the back here. Now, this was for being able... I don't even know what this is for originally. I got to learn more about it. But the pins are all clean as hell in it. And you can get a cartridge in here that you put in that overrides the system's hardware to allow it to play things from any region. So if you buy one of those and put it in, then all of a sudden you can get what are called pseudo Saturn games, which are bootleg discs of Sega Saturn games that are at cost instead of, collector's items. So I might be doing that.
Well.
Ooh, nice.
Is that text green?
It is. Pathos, how are you working such wizardry?
What?
Pathos?
It's not green on mine.
It's not?
I thought I was hallucinating for a second. I used a bunch of chemicals and haven't eaten today. I was like...
Hey, and earlier we were having some trouble with the chat with seeing what everyone was saying. So, hold and look, and great job, nerds. If you all have been saying anything, I haven't seen it. And I just don't want to make sure... Oh, you just type /me. There we go. I just want to make sure we're not missing stuff. Feel free to text me as well. I think y'all have my number. Cool. Shall we move on to Movie Club?
Yes. Movie Club.
Every now and then I get a little bit movie and I club it all the time.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad we did that.
Why is this? I'm so mad that my beer just makes everything it touches wet. I put it in a koozie, wet. The koozie was making everything wet. The koozie. I thought you were supposed to be like a coaster, but instead you were a noaster. That's why I kept leaving, because that Star Wars set that I had out here that I was like, cool, look at the Star Wars set. It kept getting wet. All right, y'all.
Can you hear my tummy growl?
Can you hear my tummy growl? Hey, that's adorable what you just did there with that action figure.
Well, thank you.
Freak out. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all. Movie club. No, we're going to club the shit out of some movies. Okay, so our movie club pick this week was Gremlins 2, the new batch. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much to Glowcat for letting us know that it was a New Year's movie. We watched this copy last night.
We did.
This is a very special object to me, and I'll tell you why. When I was a kid, at 10 years old, my parents relocated us to Iowa City, Iowa. One of the first things that I did in Iowa City, Iowa was I was moving from Springfield, Missouri, which you might not know anything about Springfield, but one thing is it's actually a pretty big place. And Iowa City, very small in comparison. So I was used to things like malls and toy stores and video stores and arcades. And I get to Iowa City and I'm like, what do the kids do around here? Well, there was one video store called That's Rentertainment that was on the Strip. And I went there with my parents and they were closing that location down. It was they're going out of business, and they had a bunch of tapes for sale. This was one of them, Gremlins 2. And it's a movie that I rented so much as a kid and loved so much that I saw it, Gremlins 2, and I said, yeah, I'm going to buy that for myself. It's still got the That's for Entertainment sticker on it right there. Okay, so this is not only and then I went home because I didn't have a case, and I opened up Microsoft Word Art, and I made Gremlins 2, the new batch, out of Word Art, and I printed it off, and I cut it out, and I put it in here. So this paper that's in here is look. You can still even see a little dotted line that I gave myself to give myself a cut line.
Oh, and you used red and green.
And I used red and green, well, to make it pop.
Thought you were trying to make it Christmassy.
No, I didn't think of this movie as a Christmas movie, and I hadn't seen Gremlins 1 yet. I didn't see Gremlins 1 until I was 15. I grew up on this one. I watched it. I've seen this one hundreds of more times than I've seen Gremlins. Okay, so not only, just a typo on that, not only was this the first tape I ever bought for myself, which obviously began a lifetime of collecting, but it's also from That's for Entertainment, which is the video store that I would go on to work at for 4 years, some 8 years later. So this is like an artifact of my life. Gremlins 2 has always been very close to my heart. I love everything about it, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So, who watched Gremlins 2 this week? What do we think? What are our thoughts?
I don't know if anyone's gonna have any big revelations about Gremlins 2.
Oh, I think it's possible. You never know.
You never know.
Wedge watched it for the first time, loved it. It was so weird.
It's so fun.
It's like right off the bat, I think as a kid, I was just entertained the whole time. Mm-hmm. And I just this is why I like movies with little rubber monsters in them. Mm-hmm. But as an adult, it reads so much, it's so fun, but it's a live action cartoon. It starts with Bugs and Daffy arguing against, already breaking the fourth wall, with Bugs and Daffy talking to you and breaking the fourth wall and inviting you into this experience. The whole movie invites you to wink and break the fourth wall. It's a satire on Hollywood, greed and synergy and marketing. It's a satire on Trumpian real estate development. It's this movie is a spoof and a satire on everything that made itself possible. Everything that Amblin and Warner Brothers had done that made it possible. This movie was we're going to be you want a cash-in sequel? You want more Gremlins? To me, this is Joe Dante having done Gremlins. By their nature, Gremlins are subversive. They deconstruct. They break things down. So in the first one, you have a traditional Christmas movie, and the Gremlins break that apart and tear it apart and make it violent and scary. So if you're going to make a cash-in sequel that's all about bigger, better, more puppetry, more effects, and now it's in the city, you couldn't have done better than to make fun of that concept itself and make fun of the idea of a studio falling apart at the seams trying to present this reality, the technological failures of the building, the failings of the modern world, which also links Gremlins back to their original role as World War II era German spies that would be hiding in things and taking them apart. That's where the concept of the gremlin came from. There's even a clip from the Bugs Bunny World War II cartoon in this movie. Did you see a gremlin? Not only that, but the puppetry. Mm-hmm. Yo.
Yeah, it's really amazing. This one question that this movie had me pondering was, when did they start colorizing films?
Yes, because the Clamp figure colorizes. Mm-hmm.
And they're make that a big...
I would guess the 80s, and the reason I guess is the 80s is because George Lucas campaigned against colorization of movies at the time, which is part of why it was so ironic when he started changing his own movies later. Okay, it's going to take a more nuanced
Google search.
Although I'm happy the screen one of my hits here for when did colorization begin of movies. One of the first hits is, what is the first color film? It's not Wizard of Oz. Is it Becky Sharp? You better tell me it's Becky Sharp. I'm just curious now to see if they're right or if I'm wrong. Rather. Gosh.
Ads.
Let me read something. So as far as I know, the first Becky Sharp, oh, this is kind of a bullshit article. This is just about how people used color tinting in silent films. Of course they did. But the first Technicolor movie was called Becky Sharp, and it's from 1935, and it made Wizard of Oz possible. Anyway, credit where credit is due. That's all I'm looking for. Becky Sharp is wonderful. It's a Vanity Fair adaptation by Ruben Mamoulian. Absolutely super, super recommended. Gremlins 2 is legit one of the best NES games ever made.
Uh-oh. Someone's going to the game wall. Ooh, ooh.
Okay. Fun thing. Because Gremlins 2 is... Thank you, dear. Is such a favorite of mine. Here's the NES game. Here's the Game Boy game. This color, this gremlin standing in front of the red fog, this is the reference photo that I sent to Great Job Nerds when he did my promotional photos for my album release of Shift in 2015.
I did not know that, and it's so good.
Right? I said, this is my inspiration. And he's like, say no more, I got you covered. And we got some smoke bombs, and we recreated it.
You picked that up, and I was like, that looks like your...
That's why.
Great Job Nerds! I'm Tony I'm very curious about this YouTube video fan theory of the post-apocalyptic universe.
Mm-hmm. Wedge loved all the cuts to Gizmo not agreeing with the other Gremlins' antics. Love to see how they did the animatronics on Gizmo and the other, because the facial expressions. So,
oh yeah.
Those are Maxi-Men models. They're miniatures that are big. So it's like Gizmo's face is like this big, but then they shoot it with other things that are oversized around it to make it appear in scale for the movie. That's how they manage all that. So many Gizmo puppets. Also, it was weird for me when I first saw the first Gremlins, because Gizmo in it is so first Gizmo, and this is so slick Gizmo. Mm-hmm. I was like, why does Gizmo look so weird in this movie? Anyway, that's why. Fun thing, Wedge said that, or Pathos said Hulk Hogan's in the movie. Indeed. So here's a fun thing. I grew up watching the tape. Now, it wasn't until the DVD, I was too young, I never saw this in theater. It wasn't until the DVD that I knew Hulk Hogan was in the movie. Because there's a segment of the movie where in the original movie, the film starts to burn and the film strip starts to tumble. And if you're watching it in a theater, it looks like the projectionist dropped the ball and the movie's burning. And then little silhouettes of gremlins appear on the screen. They start goofing off. And you realize, oh, this is the movie. And it's a fourth wall breaking moment. And then what happens in the movie is Hulk Hogan stands up and says he's in the theater. And he stands up in the movie theater and he turns and he yells at the projection booth and he says, "You gremlins, get out of there and start the movie up again." And the movie starts up again. That's not on this tape. I didn't see that scene with Hulk Hogan until I was in high school and bought the DVD. On the tape, that sequence is instead replaced so that instead of it looking like a projector malfunctioning, it looks like a VCR malfunctioning. So Christopher Lee is talking and he goes, and there's a little tracking error, and the tracking error happens again, and then it bounces into the old-timey TV cable screen with like circles and the Native American imagery, and then it starts channel surfing, and it gets us to a John Wayne movie, and the gremlins get killed by John Wayne, and then John Wayne tells us, cool, start the movie again. It's so neat to me that for the home video release of this movie, they redid that part to approximate the gremlins being in your space and keep the fourth wall experience intact.
Yeah.
I love it. And the DVD did no such thing. When I first bought the DVD, I had my hopes up. I was like, are they going to do it looks like it's skipping? Like it looks like the DVD got scratched? And no, it's just the theatrical cut. Fine by me, but really interesting thing about the tape.
Write a letter to Criterion.
Criterion needs to pick this up immediately.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that could be one of the special things.
There you go. Oh, boy. Anyway, that's a fun part about Gremlins, too. You can still find that on YouTube, by the way, if you're interested. Just look up Gremlins 2 VHS glitch sequence.
Super fun.
Find it. You find it.
You find it.
So, God, I've been talking so much. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'm fully fully high from bathroom cleaning chemicals.
We got a pretty bad clog in one of our... So you cleaned the entire back bathroom tonight?
Uh-huh.
Because our main bathroom we're having issues with. The bathrooms in the video store need love. The video store is on old property, y'all.
It's a very old property. But yeah, I full on scrubbed the back shower with a lot of chemicals with no ventilation, and I have not eaten today. So I'm
You haven't eaten anything today?
So I'm like...
What have you been doing?
Huh?
Go make yourself something to eat. There's leftover chicken wings in the fridge.
Hello?
Go get some leftover chicken wings.
I thought I'd wait till the end of the stream.
You crazy girl. You're going to make yourself fall over.
I'm
also
trying to
love...
ride that wave.
Wedge, I also love Clamp's enthusiasm. John Glover. Slight difference. John Glover... I'm just pretending to be Frozen. John Glover's in Scrooge as well. Which is why it was...
telling me to go eat.
Yes! Go!
I'm gonna wait till the end of the stream so we can pick the movie club pick. You know?
Why don't we order Chinese food right now? Get you some Chinese food. Although this always happens. Every Tuesday we're like, let's order Chinese food, and then we remember, and then it's like,
and then we don't.
Sorry, you're in Austin, where nothing is open past 9. I don't understand this stupid city. I grew up in middle of nowhere, Iowa, and you can get food anywhere until 4 a.m.
or something. Thank you for looking after me, because you always got our backs.
Maybe I can bring you a little snack. I just feel like...
No, I'll go eat a snack.
You gotta go grab it. Well, hold on. Because you gotta tell me which of these you want. China Palace. I love China Palace. It's just like... Man, we gotta order it now because... Do you know what you want?
Yeah.
Poo-poo platter for 2?
Yeah.
The thing, like, y'all... Austin, it really does feel like they're supposed, like, we're in a big city, but the city does not want it to be a big city. I swear to God, there was more after-hours food joints in my hometown of Iowa City, Iowa, than there are here.
Oh, this is the place that last time I tried 3-cup chicken for the first time.
You want that? That was good.
And it was so good.
So you want?
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Whatever sounds good. Ooh, spicy Hune.
But does that sound good? That I'm not eating your 3-cut chicken, so that's your...
Oh, I'll just have my poo-poo platter.
Okay. All right, I'll get some lo mein on the side so we have a little something to share. Barbecue pork lo mein?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Pathos says their Dunkin' is open till 2 a.m. What food do you have at a Dunkin'?
Yummy food. Yeah,
Okay.
I've always been surprised by that.
I am gonna have a quick snack just so I don't fall.
You should. My bad. I just wanted you to... Okay, I think we got a pretty good order here. Hey, thanks. I love, this is so funny because the reason that I think I crave Chinese food every time that we do the stream is because when I worked at a video store, that's for entertainment. Hello. When I worked there in college, there was a wonderful Greasy Spoon Chinese food place across the street called Taste of China. And they had a $5 General Tso's chicken. That was a small General Tso's chicken with steamed rice. I get that and a grape soda, and it was my lunch break meal, and it was $6. And I'd walk across the street, pick it up, come back into the video store and eat it. And there's something kind of amazing about putting in this order while live on the stream, because it very much reminds me of trying to shove food into my mouth while people were in the store and be like, "Oh, happy with sugar." And y'all are just very, very giving about that, and I really appreciate it. And also, thank you, Pathos, for having Steph's back. In Dallas, there was a 24-hour Chinese for a while. Don't know if it's still there. Beyond Austin needs to fix the damn highways. Yeah. I mean, I've lived here for 12 years, and I've always been surprised by that. Just I grew up and lived in Iowa City, Iowa for 12 years. It's a college town. There's stuff to get anytime. And I came here and I was like, it's like a college town, but much bigger. Surely there will be more options. And then I tried to order pizza at like 2 a.m. one night on a Friday. I was like, what's up, big city? I thought you were a city. Apparently not. When I was a teenager, I frequented this comic shop. The right next door had the most greasy pizza experience. That's perfect. Just don't get that grease on your comics. That would be my concern. That would be my concern there for sure. Okay, y'all. Well, we unboxed some fun stuff. Gremlins 2. Let me see what else, other thoughts. Look, I just really love Gremlins 2. You got the characters from the first one reappearing in kind of a spoofy way. I love how Billy is now gone from being the knife to being the like knowledgeable one. I like seeing him in charge. Phoebe Cates doesn't really get much to do in this one, other than kind of be a pissed off girlfriend. The Lincoln Day joke is very funny, in that it kind of harkens back to the Christmas Story from the first one intentionally and spoofs it. But more so, I mean, this movie is just about movies. This movie is about cartoons and movies, and the idea that Warner Brothers Looney Tunes began in the first place by being shorts that would air before movies. It really feels like Joe Dante wanted to pay homage to that experience of the goofy night out at the cinema with the Looney Tunes on screen. But what if the Looney Tunes took over the whole movie? What if that was the whole thing? I do think that's what he's getting at. They even got Chuck Jones to direct the titles. And I really do just love this movie through and through. Seriously, though, with the effects shots, I've been trying more so, and this happened with Muppet Christmas Carol as well. Muppet Christmas Carol and Gremlins 2, both things that, while watching in the past week, I really tried to pay attention to, like, how many effects are happening at once in the frame that I'm looking at right now. There's a puppet there that's being done by hand. There's a puppet there that's also hand with animatronic eyes. There's clearly animatronics here and here that are just robots that are like screw mounted to something that just move. And then there's human actors, and maybe there's even a green screen element. I know that Muppet Christmas Carol had a few moments where there are puppets on multiple axes at once, with multiple screens at once. By which I just mean that there's stuff happening in the foreground, and then there's a natural frame created by some element of the background that has a rear projection or a green screen effect to make it look deeper, or add a number of puppeteers that couldn't be added. But Gremlins 2, more so than Muppet Christmas Carol, really does open you up to the space. Muppet Christmas Carol, I think, benefits from the fact that it's Christmas Carol, benefits from the fact that it is a fairy tale, and it gets to kind of place you in its little diorama boxes in a different way. Not to say it's not incredibly impressive. Obviously, the tracking shots in and out of the city are mind-blowing.
I'm listening through the door in case you start talking about Movie Week.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Granted, those shots are amazing, but they're also like very sound-staged and controlled. Gremlins 2 is shooting, I think, on location. I actually really want to know this now. I'm going to look at where did Gremlins 2 shoot. It was shot in New York. Film locations. Let's see here. Movie locations. Wow, that's way too easy to find. Clamp Tower is 101 Park Avenue. It's in many movies. Huh. Well, I'm not finding it. I believe that it's a mall, though. I am going to just bet dollars to donuts that it's a mall because there's a Spencer's Gifts in there I don't think they would have built otherwise. They have to incorporate, my point is, they have to incorporate so much puppetry into a space that exists. Unlike Muppet Christmas Carol, they're not building sets out of wood and creating spaces for all their puppeteers. They're in a mall, and they obviously can build things like the ice cream toppings rack to have puppetry coming up from underneath. Love that moment, by the way. But they were also dealing with like the limitations of an actual space of shooting on location. And I am so in awe with the technical achievements of that. All right, cool. My favorite character in Gremlins 2 is the Zappy Gremlin. Yes, I love the electric gremlin. Zappy caught on hold. The budget Dracula dude. His interview with the Brainy Gremlin was your favorite part. I love that part. I love the... well, see, take this one for... And that's Tony Randall doing the voice of the Gremlin, by the way. Tony Randall... I mean, he's doing a bit of a... Stephanie asks, is that his real accent? He's doing, like... He's leaning into it. He's doing a voice, but that's like a very... His, like, Tony Randall old school style Hollywood intonations.
I just ask because sometimes he sounds Australian and sometimes he sounds like transatlantic and sometimes he sounds British.
Yeah, I think it's just old Hollywood. I feel like I'm talking to a ghost. The street scene in the church... Love that moment. I love that I also love how validating it is for poor Dick Miller's character, who just is totally screwed over in the first movie and really played as a joke of like the kooky old guy next door. I love how he gets his validating moment of everyone seeing the gremlin be real, but not only that, but him defeating it in front of everybody. I like that if anyone gets a hero moment in this movie, it's that. And I also love the bat gremlin being part of that cathedral forever. And I do love the conceit of it. Although I was trying to figure out the timing a little bit more of like the... Sorry, I'm looking something up based on a comment here. Oh, for a second I thought maybe Tony Randall did that Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous voice, but it was not him. But I understand. See, he threw me in pathos. Yeah, the like kind of bottle episode aspect of it. The chamber piece. They're all trapped in one space. They obviously play with a lot. They've got different sets. They've got the top floor office set and the main set. But the stuff they do with that mall set of specifically the entrance and the giant walkthroughs, that they have all the extras for, and the ice cream bar. It is those shots in particular that I think are so thrilling. I also puppet-wise, and I also love not only the movie references here, but the movie references are so deeply baked in. One that I didn't get until I was super older was the "Is it safe? Is it safe?" The dentist gremlin with the drill saying "Is it safe?" Which is Laurence Olivier and Dustin Hoffman from Marathon Man. Marathon Man rules. We should definitely watch that. Also, on that note, just because I'm freewheeling here, Marathon Man is part of a genre movement in the 70s of paranoia thrillers that I love. One of the best of which, my favorites of which, is called The Parallax View by Alan J. Pakula, who also did Clute and All the President's Men and his Paranoia trilogy. Parallax View is one of my favorite movies ever, and I just saw that Criterion's putting out in February, so we'll definitely be getting there. Also, yes, John Astin, the janitor, is great. His mumbling to himself, his mumbling about what the CEO makes, is like, every time you stand there, you're making $375 every time you go to the bathroom, take a whiz. Good shit. And yeah, the reoccurring gremlin was the Flasher gremlin, but in gremlin lore, that's not the same gremlin. That's a different... So that just means there's some inherent aspect of gremlins that makes them want to flash, which of course there is. It is really interesting to think of all the different kinds of gremlins they get to come up with here. And there's, of course, that famous Key and Peele sketch, super funny, where they're just pitching all the different kinds of gremlins. But, I mean, you really do have to do that at some point if you're making a movie like this and you've established in the first one that gremlins can and do have personalities. Also, what does it say about this intrinsic goodness of Gizmo and what is to be protected there? I had a friend who had an amazing idea for a potential Gremlins 3 plot that took place in Hong Kong, where Gizmo had turned into a gremlin and become king of the gremlins because he was the most savage of all. And he'd gone back to Hong Kong to lead the gremlins in an underworld for an eventual world takeover. And Billy had to fly there and do a fish out of water story to save his soul and try to revert him and find a way to turn him back into a Mogwai. I love that story. I wish that movie had gotten made. I know that Joe Dante wanted to make a Gremlins 3, and so did Spielberg, but Dante said no CG, and Spielberg said CG, and they couldn't come to an agreement on it, so it is thus not made. Spielberg, what are you trying to do? Let Dante make it with puppets.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
That was great.
Did you get a little Tum Tum Fullies?
I just got a little baby snack to tide me over. It's like a whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
Yeah. Okay, yay nudists. Woo.
This is in reference to the Flash or Gremlin.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of NECA.
Oh, the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just saving my voice for a second. So, do you have any Gremlins observations? I've just been...
No.
I'm gonna say... Please just say something so I don't have to keep talking.
I think... It sounds like y'all really got into it. Y'all want to pick a movie for next week?
Yeah, totally.
Because I have thoughts.
Guide us, please. I'm trying to take a vocal break. Please take over.
Okay, so here are my thoughts. Obviously, we've got Coco. That was up there. I heard you talking about Marathon Man. I thought that's fun. Also, the Daily does the Sunday read, and this, I haven't finished this yet, but I was listening to this most recent Sunday read, and it is about the kind of re-emerging popularity, weird resurgence of popularity during the pandemic of the movie Moonstruck. So, curious if anyone has any thoughts. I really think like those are three really fun choices. Also, Criterion just released a new version of Parallax View, or a restored version of Parallax View. If you haven't seen Parallax View, that movie is awesome. Movie kicks, it whips, it rules, it does not drool. So yeah, what are y'all's thoughts? What are y'all feeling for going into the new year? Woman's POV on Gremlins 2. See, Tony, gee whiz. I've never seen Moonstruck. I plan on watching it this week. Anyways, I mean, Cher and Nick Cage, like, what is up? That sounds so great. And as they were talking about the movie, they were talking about how, at that time, Cher had just, her popularity had just exploded, and clearly she was, like, very successful and making a lot of money, and yet somehow played this character, like, super down to earth and very believably. Really, really, really fascinated to watch that movie. I was just pitching a few ideas for movie club, being
hydrating, finally.
Oh, you did it! I'm drinking sparkling water, which does not hydrate you. Just so y'all know. Wow, you really hydrated.
Hydrated. I had to. It's the channel points.
That's
I feel
good.
so bad.
It's good. I was just saying, okay, Criterion just announced Parallax View.
Yes.
Which, such a great movie.
Love that movie.
I heard you talking about Marathon Man.
Yes. Which have you seen?
I've never seen.
Same movement, and Gremlins 2 has a very direct reference to it. Coco.
And then I was talking about the Sunday read from the New York Times about Moonstruck, and how I've always wanted to watch that movie. I've always wanted to see that movie. It's Nick Cage and Cher starring in this movie about just like a...
Snap out of it!
But those are kind of my pitches, my soft pitches.
I like those.
For movie club.
I like those. Those are solid.
3 Academy Awards on Moonstruck? I didn't know that.
I really do want to watch Moonstruck.
I think Cher won an Oscar for her performance.
If you're feeling Moonstruck now, we can totally check Moonstruck out. Moonstruck's got a nice Criterion release that I was going to pick up on the next sale, but that's not until July.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait that long.
Fair enough. Well, it seems like you're going to have to buy it for us then.
Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay. Pathos says, I'm ready for poll creation. Wedge is saying never seen Moonstruck.
Moonstruck's actually a good price on Amazon right now.
Oh, nice.
It's only going to be a few bucks more off for the Criterion sale. So I'd be down to pick this up. It'll get here soon, then we can watch it. I've never seen it either, Wedge. So those are all really good. I mean, I love those. I don't like... Yeah. The only other one I would pitch is X-Men from 2000.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. Because I've been playing a lot of X-Men vs. Street Fighter lately. Free Prime Video on Moonstruck? Yeah, for real? For sure?
Snap out of it.
Hey, snap into it. Hey, snap all the way over here. Hey, snippity snippity. Yo, we watched the Garfield Christmas, too. Did we talk about this last week?
Yeah, we did. We talked about how it's surprisingly emotional.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Moonstruck is free on Prime, but it has ads.
Ooh.
Which... Every time I'm watching a movie and an ad comes on, I say, no!
Also, Tony G. Wiz, I did say sparkling water doesn't hydrate. Now, at least this is the science I've heard, is that it tricks your brain into thinking you're hydrating, but doesn't actually do anything to hydrate your body.
Huh.
Similar to, like, you know, my mom, this is going to sound kind of weird, but, you know, my mom used to say, like, I just need something wet. You know?
Huh.
Like, if she was thirsty.
No, I mean, I get it. It's just like Texan people have weird expressions.
Yeah, like
you know. I need something wet. Like when I worked at Fresh Plus, people like, it's a grocery store. All the good old boys and ladies, like all the small town Texans, call things like flavors. Like different types of soda, they call it flavors. Different types of cheese, they call flavors. Texans just have sometimes they just say things in a weird way.
Because my mom's from Alabama. And she, you know.
Look, anytime I need something wet my whistle and flavor of cheese. Those two things always make me go. I'm sorry, I know that came across as mean. I love your mom.
No,
she's a wonderful woman.
I think flavors of cheese is weird too.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
I mean, I love your mama, but that is weird.
Okay, please research Tony G. Wiz, because this is just what I heard. I heard it is like it doesn't. By hydrate, I mean similar to like if you drink a soda, you're not being hydrated. You're not getting hydrated. Your body's not being hydrated. You're drinking liquid that your body will process, but it's not. There's no benefit of hydration, meaning like, you know, to your skin and your energy and all that.
That's interesting to me.
So I've heard that sparkling water is, you know, it's better for you in the sense that it doesn't have like sweeteners and whatever else. But it is not a replacement for regular H2O. Good old-fashioned hydration station.
So I love water.
I do too.
Sorry, I'm looking up real quick to see. I returned some stuff to Amazon, and I thought that maybe I could use that money to buy us Moonstruck. But it's not showing up on here.
Well, I'll buy Moonstruck for myself.
No, I'm just like... I'm just confused because I don't know if anyone out there has ever returned anything to Amazon before or knows how that works, but I dropped it off today and the man said, do you need a receipt? And I said no. And now I'm like, maybe I did need one. Also, it made me sad. So I got this nice...
Okay, real quick. I'm just going to tell Pathos it's Moonstruck, Coco, Marathon Man, and Parallax View. Were my 4 pitches.
Those are all so good. Yeah, let's vote on those. So good. I got sad because I returned... I returned Sailor Moon because I found a cool box version of it, and I bought that. And then I returned the copy I have, but it's been unwrapped. And then Great Job Nerds sent me a text earlier that said something like... It was like someone Instagram story that said like if you return it to a big online retailer, it might end up in a garbage dump.
Oh, I've been hearing about this nonstop.
Anyway, when I went into UPS
Landfills.
and I returned the Sailor Moon, the dude just took a sticker and put it right over the front of the whole case. Like,
it's probably going to a landfill.
I was like, no, I'll fucking give that to someone.
Amazon is.
That's insane.
Amazon just throws shit away.
That's insane. I want to go to the Amazon landfill.
Right? Can you imagine? They like, and it's stuff. You know what's more infuriating than that?
What?
It's like brand new coats, like clothing that
That's
people
fucked up.
could need.
Yeah, that's more infuriating than movies for sure. Although I just was like, this Sailor Moon Blu-ray is nice. Like, all I did was get a separate version of it. I did not intend to throw this away. I was trying to return it.
I think the
I
thing
feel
is,
guilty now.
I think the thing is to like resell, to go through, to get a third party reseller.
Were you gonna vote?
Oh.
Because I want to know if we're both voting. That was a legitimate question. Sorry, I wasn't trying to rush you. I want to know. Do you think we should vote or not?
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to be like, you gonna vote?
No, it's okay. I didn't know the poll was ready.
5 minutes to make your vote. That's a good rule.
Anyways, I think that the amount of money and energy, time is money, y'all, that it would take Amazon to get a system for a third party reseller is not worth their time, so they just throw shit away.
I returned it in perfect condition.
Doesn't matter.
Like, you could just... Like, I wouldn't be upset if I bought a shrink-wrapped copy of that.
It doesn't matter.
At a slight discount. 5 minutes to make your vote. 5 minutes! 5 minutes, everybody! Show's starting in 5 minutes!
Now I'm trying to think of what my staff pick is going to be.
I know what mine is, because it looks like it's the one that's going to lose in this vote.
What, Marathon Man?
It's either Marathon... I think I might make it Marathon Man or Parallax View.
I was thinking about Parallax View, but I thought that's what you were going to pick, so...
Ooh. Well, there are some other really good. 3 Days of the Condor is really good. Clute. Oh my god. Clute's a
Clute
freaking
is
masterpiece.
so good.
Clute's better than Parallax View in my book.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What's up? They're closed.
Chinese food's not coming through tonight, y'all. Because
Good thing I had my snack.
It is a good thing you had your snack. I feel bad that our favor driver had to go out of their way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text them, no worries. Thank you for trying. Well, that's a bummer and a half, isn't it? Man, fuck this city. Cannot wait to leave.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. I've been here 12 years and there's no food for night people. I know, I'm just being a grumpy.
It's called grocery.
I just have low blood sugar. I don't really fucking hate it here. I'm just being a butthorn. Count it later. Donald Sutherland and Jane Fonda. Yeah, it rules. It rules. See hard.
See your herd.
Dang.
It's okay.
What's okay?
It's gonna be okay. We're just looking for places that are open.
I'm sneaking real quick. Why don't you pick your...
Okay, let's see. Well, hey, I mean... I guess my staff pick will be Clute.
Clue?
Clute! Clue!
Ah, Clue's so good. Clute. I think my staff pick will be Parallax View.
Ooh!
And then
fun.
Those are both movies from Alan J. Pakula. We need a tiebreaker, y'all. Okay, since my staff pick is gonna be Parallax View, I'm going to rescind my vote because we need a tiebreaker. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it on. Oh, shit. I don't want to be the one who decides. What did you vote for?
I'm not telling you.
Well, you didn't vote for Marathon Man or Parallax View. Well, shit. I feel bad then. What would I vote for if I didn't vote for Marathon Man? I don't know. Let's flip a coin.
Let's flip a coin. Also, drop that story in the chat, Pathos.
Oh, yeah. I love how different theaters got different endings for Clue. And if you watch the DVD of it, you can choose a randomizer that will randomize which one you get. All right. Heads is Coco. Tails is Moonstruck. Oh, my God. Adam, you clumsy little bitch. Heads is Coco. Tails is Moonstruck.
Heads.
Heads is Coco.
All right.
It's gonna be Coco for the week, yo. Coco, okay. Which is great because Xander Lorian started watching it already tonight.
Awesome. Full disclosure, I might still watch Moonstruck this week.
Whoa, let's wait. Let's do it in the week after next. Well, okay, if you watch it, you watch it. I don't want to stand in your way.
I'm dying to watch it.
I know it's top of mind for you. You don't have to wait. I'll watch it with you too. I mean, I want to watch it as well. Adam, you were saying last week about studios holding movies. Saw Harry Potter in USA, then wanted to binge the whole series, but it wasn't streaming anywhere. They were pulled from streaming in November and come back in January, and I think it's because they want you to buy them for Christmas. That's why.
Yeah.
Buy them used and treasure them forever. That's what I say. Go to Half Price Books or find them in a used eBay seller. It's cheap. And then own it, and then stop streaming them. That's what we do. We were actually very annoyed this year because we have a very good Christmas collection that is all in storage because we're moving, and we were trying to find a stream for Charlie Brown Christmas. Couldn't find it because it was on Apple TV only. My Apple device wanted me to upgrade. I was not interested in that, so I didn't watch it. First year in a few I haven't watched it. Then we tried to watch Frosty the Snowman, also not available on Prime or streaming anywhere. And those are both things that I have DVDs of and tapes of sitting around somewhere, but they're in boxes back in Iowa. There's a YouTuber I follow who did a really amazing review on the Clue movie. Her name is Pushing Up Roses. She also covers lots of classics, Murder, She Wrote, episodes, and makes acrylic pour art pieces. That sounds delightful.
Yeah, that does sound delightful.
Well, it sounds like Steph's staff pick is Clute. Adam's staff pick is The Parallax View. And Movie Club is Coco. Notice that with the Goonies at the end, they mentioned the octopus was scary, and they never saw an octopus scene until I saw it on cable. Yeah, what octopus scene?
Octopus.
So this is actually something that Tony G. Wiz, you actually make an interesting point. This is actually something that happens sometimes. You think that movies that are on cable are going to be cut versions. Oftentimes they're extended versions. Oftentimes deleted scenes have been added back in to get them to a broadcast length. So it doesn't surprise me to learn that there is an octopus scene that I've never heard of because, of course, it's in the cable version. Waterworld does this. The cable version has several more scenes than the original theatrical release did. Thank you for pushing up that. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to her with Baby Lion right now. And 262,000 subscribers.
Hey,
there you go. Sounds awesome. Just some breakdown videos. Always here for it.
Me too.
There's a version of the movie where they slide down the water hole and the octopus tries to eat Steph before they get on the boat. Crazy.
Oh.
Crazy daisies. I tried showing the Goonies to an ex, and I think Great Job Nerds was there, and she made us turn it off about 40 minutes in and was like, it's just little boys yelling over each other. I can't watch this anymore.
It is.
It's just little boys overlapping dialogue nonstop.
That's funny.
All right, y'all. Well, that takes us to our 3-hour point. I know that I need to eat. Sorry, I'm like getting low blood sugar. I'm talking shit on Austin for not having more late night food options. I'm being a grump. I'm not trying to be a Grinch. What did we learn tonight? We learned that Game Over Video Games is a great place in Austin. They're seriously not a sponsor. We just love them. So is Toy Joy for toys. Gremlins 2 is a New Year's party. I feel so like, it's weird not being at work and being here for this. It's like my brain hasn't been on all day, you know, so I feel like weird. I'm happy that I cleaned the beer off my crotch and chair.
It's really nice.
I think it's really nice. I'm glad that you took your first shower in 4 days.
Yay! I needed it.
And what else?
I think that's it. I think we'll all watch Coco this week.
Coco, I'm really excited about Coco.
I'm so excited too. I've been wanting to watch that movie for so long. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, if I have, the willpower, I'll hold off on Moonstruck and pitch it for Movie Club another time, but
or,
watch it.
I'll watch it with you if you want to watch it this week. We can watch it and talk about it and then make it Movie Club in the future at some point.
That's true.
Also, this is our last show of the year, and I just realized that. I know that I'm not sure. I feel maybe I'm just lacking self-awareness and perspective right now, but I feel like I'm being grumpy or coming across. Be real. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Am I coming across grumpy tonight?
I don't know.
I hope not. I feel like I'm hungry in this past 20 minutes, and now I'm worried and lacking self-awareness, but I don't want to be that way. I want to say, yeah, I'm frustrated that it's hard to find food right now. We'll find food. But ultimately what I want to say is thank you for being here with us. This is our 14th episode together. It's been a wonderful way to spend time this year, regardless of what happens in the new year with the vaccine. Hopefully this all feels like a distant nightmare sometime soon, but we're not going to stop doing this show. We will continue to do this stream. I think that one of the most positive things that this year has brought is me realizing how much I love streaming and doing this with you and with you. Thank you for being here. Before we all leave, let's all try to make each other some sort of a recommendation for a New Year's. Maybe what's a movie that you love that you feel helps you reset your mind? What's a comfort movie for you that you feel like and I'll just say for me, it's The Neverending Story. Actually, that's my final new arrival of the week. I forgot. I collect copies of The Neverending Story. I got a copy I've never had before. This is the 1986 slipcase release of it. I have the 1984 beta and VHS clamshell release, and now I have to get the 1984 slipcase release, and I'll have a complete 80s collection because I'm insane. This is a movie that for me, every time I watch it, it feels like I get a fresh start. It feels like I'm reset. Good New Year's movie for me. Do you have anything that is a comfort, Stephanie? You?
Pathos says Turbo Kid. Well, this was my movie club pick, my staff pick last week, but I watched When Harry Met Sally around New Year's almost every year. And I find it very inspiring and comforting and charming and feel good, and it's just great.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Pathos, it's Turbo Kid. Wedge is Apollo 13. Eastern Promises is a New Year's movie? Well, dang, I might watch that. And Wedge, yes, I hope for your birthday you do get to watch Gremlins in a real theater. And Pathos and Great Job Nerds, I hope y'all get that vaccine ASAP.
Murder.
Shakes the Clown. That's a fun one. Did not see Shakes the Clown coming up in tonight's show. Also, I know I promised it a few weeks ago, y'all, but I really do have the time this week, and we are going to have a theme song by next week.
Oh, yay!
So, 2021, we're coming in with a new redesign. We're going to have some fresh new opening graphics, some closing graphics, a new song that that song
Sneeze dab
will also be on Spotify. And we're going to keep building this shit up. Y'all have been a foundation that has kept us sane this year, so thank you.
Yay. The best regulars.
Best regulars ever. Any final words from you?
Nope.
Okay. Look, let's all try to remember, keep our eye on the ball, and keep building the world we want to be in. Be kind to each other. Keep the Christmas spirit alive all year. Remember that Black Lives Matter, even if it's not what's on your feed right now. And be kind, rewind. Get home safe. And Happy New Year, you filthy animals.